I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently, it could build and build until you finally see, whoa, it's taking over, damn no closure, moving closer. No exposure, I just wanna be a loner. Some can't stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that I shove.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper. I got nightmares in my head.
Here we go! Hey, y'all. Thanks for coming in so late. We got Kazi here with me. My number one. I love this woman with all my heart.
Hey, y'all.
I didn't want to cry. I knew I was going to, but I didn't want to start out crying. But I see you and I want to start crying because I love you guys. This has been, this whole entire thing has just been crazy. And in so many ways, good. But it's got that balance because there's also so many ways it's hard.
Two things can be true.
Yeah, they really can. I'm a Gemini. I'm the epitome of that. Our communities have been through so much. And I'm going to get to that. I don't want to start with that because I know it's going to probably rub a lot of people wrong. And so the thing that I'm going to say, I'm going to preface with is if you're going to say something against us and what we're saying tonight, that I'm going to say, oh, what happened?
That was me.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. If you're going to say something against us tonight about what we say or how we do things, that you're right. But I'm not going to give anything to it, any credit at all, unless you have watched the entire thing. Because I think too many people nowadays just read the headlines. Too many people nowadays just hear what they want to hear and take and run with it. And if I can tell you anything, I can tell you that Kazi, myself, we come with pure hearts when it comes to everything that we're saying tonight. And if somebody wants to take it and turn it ugly, that is not on us. My biggest goal, the reason that I even wanted to do the village, is because I was tired of people hurting. I'm tired of people doing things to each other that, I mean, people are best friends and then all of a sudden they're their enemies. There's not a safe place online, period. I've never said that this was a safe place, but it is my duty in giving as safe a place as I possibly can and not allowing the hate to ruin our people. And when I say people, our people, I love you guys. Every single person that I've spoken with in our community means so much to me. And I can't do with all this hate. That said, I'm going to put that off for a minute. I'm going to be all over the place. Personally, I have been dealing with a lot. Personally, you have been dealing with a lot, Kazi. Personally, so many of us are dealing with so much. Why I said Trauma Olympics, why I called it that, is because I think we do need to revisit this. Trauma comparing is one thing. But when somebody has gone through unspeakable things, they have a tendency to not jump in the thick of things. They have a tendency not to want to hurt other people because they know
Tends
how.
to be but somebody else is going through worse, so I'm not gonna say my thing right now.
That's not what I'm trying to get at, baby. What I'm trying to say is people take things and run with them and they hurt people.
Oh,
But they don't even understand that the people that they are hurting, most of which we don't even ever know who they are. We don't know what the next person is going through. We don't know who we're hurting or what's going on outside the screen. We don't know anything except for how to hurt each other because we're not taking that into consideration. Personally, I have struggled so hard because, and one of the reasons why I don't want to get a big channel, I really don't. I have said that I was going to do things for so many people and I can't. I have said that I was going to be there and I'm not. This morning, I've been trying to slowly come back. And this morning, you guys, the messages that I have of my friends hurting. I have friends who have been in the hospital. I have friends who have lost family members. I have friends who are just gone. And I found myself being so chicken shit because I can't be there like I want to be.
you can only do what you can.
And I was saying that I was wanting to go get things set up. And I have been. I've been working on things, Kazi, to where that we can do this easier. But it just gets worse and worse and worse with everybody. Everybody's going through so much. And I do have guilt because I feel like I'm letting people down and the fact that I'm not able to be there. But those that matter don't mind. And those that mind don't matter.
Yeah. But we know that you're giving your all, you know. So just the guilt that you have, I'm sorry that you have it, but it's unfounded because you're doing the best you can with all you've got. And we know that.
I know. But I'm trying to make the point. I'm not even trying to make it about me in this, but I am.
And we should know that about everybody. We're all giving our all.
That's it. And those that are out there causing problems, stop for a minute and look at what you are doing versus what you are trying to do.
Yeah. Take a little moment to think, is this going to hurt? Is this going to harm? And is this going to cause more hurt?
Yeah. Because we are losing people left and right that need a community. They need a village.
Yeah. Especially now, you know, there's so much uncertainty in the world and so much upheaval.
And it's scary. It's a scary world right now. If you have nothing going on at all except for just what's going on in the world, it's a scary world. And we all know that nobody has nothing going on.
Right.
I don't like saying you're doing this or you're doing that. I'm not a pointing finger kind of person. But we have to figure out a way to not allow upheaval, to not allow ugliness. If you have a point to make it, but make it with respect. I want to listen to everybody's side. That's the thing about the villages. We are all so unique. We are all so special in our own ways. And I say this a lot, the analogy of the stew, you know, we are our own individual spices. And it takes each one of us to make up what makes us. Nobody wants to hug a cactus, though, either. And I'm not going to make a lot of sense tonight. I don't always make much sense these days.
That's right. Me neither.
But y'all can hear, I'm sure you can hear Brutus, because he every time I get emotional, he gets emotional.
So, you know, I'm going to look it up because there's a Plato's analogy of the cave.
Yes, baby. Yes.
Or the allegory of the
Allegory
cave.
of the cave. That is perfect. Y'all,
Yeah.
so many reasons I love this woman.
And it was something that came to, well, it didn't come to me yesterday. It came on my playlist, and it's just something that, you know, I have to look it up so I get it right. Allegory of the cave.
It's perfect. While you're doing that, I want to tell everybody happy Love Day. And I'm going to look at the comments for the first time, and I'm sorry. I had to get all that blah blah out. I don't have anything like planned right now other than just to talk, because I think a lot of us need to talk. But I wanted to explain, not to apologize, but to explain why I've been gone. We're working on things, and there's so many of us that are willing and able to do so. And we've just got to start doing. We've got to start coming together with it. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to look at, and probably none of y'all still here because I haven't said nothing to nobody. We've got Nick. Love Nick. We've got Kim. Hi, Kim. Kim's not been feeling good. So if we can throw out some threes for her. We've got Tiff, our girl Tiff. Brutus, sir, you're being very rude. We've got Janet. Hi, Janet. And I spoke to her just by text whenever she is no longer in the hospital. That's all I know. She's resting, but she is out of the hospital. If we could get some threes up for her too.
Sorry, I'm just getting it, just trying to simplify it because it's quite a. I'm just trying to get it to simplify it. Simplify.
It's good to hear that your mom is doing better. And yeah, lots of love her way too. Hey, there's Kazi.
Hi.
One sec.
I was eating my my tomato and cheese.
She said she was bringing cheese, and I said, good, because I've got the wine.
I've also got the wine.
Hello, Hamina. You guys, I'm sorry it's so late. And I've got some Valentines that I made. That's not Valentine's, Misha.
Okay, I'll just explain the allegory of the cave simplified.
Yeah.
So the story. The cave. Imagine people chained inside of a dark cave their whole lives. They can only see the wall in front of them. Behind them is a fire, and objects like statues, or butterflies, or trees, are moved in front of the fire, generally by their prisoners, you know, the people that imprison them. They're the ones that are creating the images, or the townspeople who are walking by. They're the ones that are creating the images, so they're not real. The prisoners think the shadows are the only real things in the world. And then one day, one prisoner escapes and he gets out into the real world. They see the fire and the objects and the people that are creating the shadows, and their mind is blown. And at first, it hurts their eyes and their mind, and it confuses them because they're like, their whole world and their mind view is shattered, because they're like, what caused the images on the wall were these people, and the, you know, it just shatters their whole world view, you know. You know, so they're dragged out of the cave into the sunlight, and they'll be blinded at first, but eventually they see the real world, the trees, the real world, the trees, the sun, and everything else. So that's like, you know, it's like it's being told the truth after being lied to so long, basically. You know, if the freed person goes back to the cave and tries to tell the other prisoners the truth, you know, guess what, peeps? Out there in the real world, you're not seeing what the images that you're seeing on the wall. They're not actually what you're seeing. And the other prisoners are like, no. They can't actually see it, because they can't imagine that what is out there is actually what's out there, because it's their mind hasn't been expanded like the prisoner who has been out into the real world mind has been expanded. And that's like the allegory of the cave. It's like most people, like Plato was saying, like the big idea. I'm trying to. So the cave represents ignorance, or being stuck in a limited world of reality. The shadows represent illusions or false beliefs. The sun represents truth, knowledge, and enlightenment. Just truth, you know, going out into the real world and truth. The journey going to traveling out of the cave represents how hard it be to learn truth, and how often people can resist it. Going back into the cave to try and tell your fellow prisoners, like, guess what, mates? Guess what's out there in the real world? And they're like, nah. So you have to try and decide whether or not you're going to try and fight their resistance and bring them back. And that's kind of like what the revolution is, or whether you go back out into the real world and let them leave them there to live in their cave. But Plato was saying that most people live in a kind of mental cave, believing only what they see or are told. True wisdom comes from questioning, learning, and seeking the truth. So not living in your mental bubble and only being around people who are just like you in your cave. You have to get out there into the real world and seek the light. So philosophers want to help others see the light, but not everyone is ready or willing to listen. And I guess that's where we are right now, is we have to decide where we are in our battles. Do we want to keep, for me personally, I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior. I'm going to keep trying to get people in their caves to see the light and get them out of their caves, because no one deserves to live in a cave and be imprisoned. But for some, you know, it's too much to try and get others to see the light, and that's perfectly fine too, you know, because they've lived a life living in that cave, and it was enough of a struggle to get out of it.
Yeah.
And
You know, and a lot of times I think the people in the cave didn't want to acknowledge the truth, because who wants to admit that what they saw or that what they were a part of wasn't what it was supposed to be?
Exactly. And I guess that first line up there, like, first they came for the socialists and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Well, guess what? I am a socialist and I'm going to go back there and get those other people out of the cave.
Right.
So,
But we have to allow people to go at their own pace. We have to allow people, because it took me a long time to get where I needed to be in certain situations as well. And it'll take me a long time to get to where I need to be in other situations. Everybody takes time to get somewhere in their decisions. And we cannot expect people to go where we are because we're there now. If we
no.
think back, it took a lot of us a long time to get to where we are. And it took a lot of our experiences. It took a lot of situational, not everybody acts in the same accord, and not everybody's going to see things through the same lens.
I guess, like what with Tiff is saying, if you want help out of the cave, I'm more than willing to help you. But if you're going to stay there, I'll come back later. I guess
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, I'll put the ladder down in the cave. I'll put the ladder down so you can get out of the cave whenever you're ready. But I'm not going to stand up there at the top of the cave, be shouting at you to come out.
Yes. That right there. And Tiffany is in my pocket. She's in your pocket. And she is very inobtrusive. You are very inobtrusive, but you were there. And we cannot, the thing about nobody wants to hug a cactus. You can show.
Because they're all pricks.
Right? I love you. Oh. It's such a hard thing. We're trying so hard not to be, some of us are trying so hard not to be judgmental pricks anymore. Some of us are just trying to show, because we have been through so much all of our lives. We've been through so much crap. We just want to breathe.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of apologizing for who I am. If I do something wrong, you'll know it if it's towards you. And it's because I have given warnings and I have asked and I've spoken. I don't ever just go to do something wrong. And so if I am wrong in my beliefs and the way that I present myself, do me the honor of at least giving me the chance to explain or to understand. Because
yeah, well, if I'm wrong, I'll apologize and try and fix it. But also, like, if I don't think I'm wrong, I'll be like, well, tell me why I'm wrong. Don't just tell me I'm wrong and then walk away.
Yeah, because that's not going to do anything. It's not going to teach you anything. You're not going to want to change because you don't know what you've done.
Yeah, but but you're perfectly valid in your right to just do that if that's what you want. But no one is going to learn anything.
Right.
There's not going to be anything fixed from anything. There's not going to be any solutions.
I forgive people, but I don't have to be around them. I don't have to keep going back. I learned that one with my ex-husband, and I'm still working on forgiving him. But sometimes I think in trying to help people, we give them more benefit. In fact, let me pull this up because this is something that's really, I think, very insightful. And it's very beautiful the way that it was said. Let me get it pulled up because it's going to take me a second. There it is. I'm going to read this to y'all. This comes from a very, very wise person. What drives me away from people, especially online, is the lack of respect and integrity. I'm guilty of showing neither of those myself, and I've tried to make amends for those things in my own ways. But each time I tried to call out what I did specifically, none of the apologies were perfect by any means. But I never tried to change anyone or force them to believe a certain way or tried to get them to feel like they needed to bend to my point of view to make them feel welcome or comfortable enough to be around me. That got me burned a lot. At the end of the day, sometimes you get burned just for being you. And that's always been the first lesson we learn about fire. You can get too close without fully understanding what it is or why it's so hot until it's too late. But you can't change fire into water. You swim too deep and you drown. And if you drink the wrong kind, you get poisoned. Drama is both fire and poisoned water. And the reason we get burned or poisoned so often is because we feel bad for the ones that led us to those things instead of allowing ourselves to stay where we want to be, where we are comfortable. But when we do, we're finally able to question why they led us to those things in the first place. Sorry, that was super long-winded and possibly not very helpful, but
No, it's perfect.
No, I'm still reading.
Oh, okay, sorry.
My point is, just because there are causes and other points of view, it doesn't mean that we have to take them on if we're not comfortable doing that. And the drama and the hate that comes afterwards is a result of that lack of respect and integrity that was never there the whole time. This is one of our people.
That's perfect.
It is.
That is so perfect.
This came from Blake. We have so many people in our community that want to be a part, that want to do the good. But we have so many people that are leaving because there's too much negativity online in our world. I want to fight for our people. I want to fight for every one of us. And that is not fighting if we are bringing in pain and forcing our views. If you have a view that needs to be heard, say it. But don't say it in ways that are going to hurt each other, because nobody's going to listen.
We used to have a saying at school, say it, don't spray it. Which is like, you know, you can talk without spitting.
Yeah. And that's so true. Guys, how many of us have been so close to people that now we cannot stand?
I love you, Jen.
I know, I got to get back to the comments. It breaks my heart because I see people that were friends that are now no longer friends. And it's not even their argument that they were fighting for. They were just fighting to back each other up. And we get lost. We get caught up. We get emotional. And none of us have had a place to actually talk about it.
Well, one of my favorite sayings is not my monkey, not my circus.
Yeah.
And like the village is my circus. But a lot of times people aren't my monkeys.
Right?
You know, like there's a certain thing where you can have up to 8 good friends, and then a certain number of really like acquaintances, people you can legitimately care for, and then, you know, the amount of caring or empathy diminishes as the amount of people gets larger and larger and larger. I don't feel that's true of me. Like, I care for everyone a lot.
That's it. That's the hard part.
But I also have to limit how much I put in to, you know, like, you know, everyone in the village is my monkeys. You're all my circus. So I just putting that out there. But you know,
no, that's it. I mean, you feel responsible.
Yeah. So, you know, that's why I'm online all day. That, you know, as soon as anyone's needing some help, like, if I can, I'm there. But there's this thing called empathy burnout. So, you know, you see stories online that are so devastating, and I just think I have to scroll past this. I can't even read it. And it's something that normally my heart would break at, but I can't even read it because my limit is reached, because my my village needs me.
Yeah.
So I don't have time for some person on a page, which is generally to say Humans of New York or something like that. I just don't have time to put my empathy into that because I have all my empathy used up by my village, my family, my friends, because there's only so much empathy you have, and
Cosby,
that's
that's
okay.
I've been at the point that I have been hiding from those that I really want to be there for. I have been hiding because I can't handle.
That's okay. You know, you've got people you need to put first, and the first person you need to put first is yourself.
Yeah. We all know how hard that is. It's hard for us to do that. It's hard for us to. I give myself very good advice, but I very seldom follow it.
Yeah. Well, I used to think that the empathy was something that was endless. It's really not.
It's not.
It's not. And
And
it's something that, especially in times like these times, and these times, it's just like, I have so much empathy, but I don't have endless amounts. And I just want to like face palm some bitches. Fuck off out of my face. Leave me the fuck alone. I don't have enough time for your bullshit today. I have enough of my own.
Right.
And I'm sorry if that just sounded really harsh.
No, it sounds human.
Yeah.
It sounds human. And there is a video, I'm going to get a strike for it, but I'm going to play part of it because it's necessary, I think. And by the way, the wrenches, I'm sorry about that. There is an oversight, but I think it has been at least somewhat addressed now. I think I've got the wrenches all covered now.
Mm-hmm.
I felt myself really scared because as the village grows, there's more people that I start hearing their stories. And I got to the point to where that it's just so overwhelming. And with me being where I was personally, and then everybody else being where they are. And there's a point I felt like such like Laffy Taffy. And that's not doing anybody any good either. And I got to where that I've always been a positive, even though life gets hard and even though life gets really, really to where that we can't handle it sometimes, I've still always been able to find the light in that tunnel. And I'd started not being able to find as much light. Even though I know I'm not alone anymore, which is a beautiful thing, I don't know how to handle it sometimes. And I don't think a lot of us know how to handle that. Here comes the strike because I'm fixing to play it. Let's see.
Agreed, Damina.
Comes in. It helped me boost my map presence.
Yeah, boost that map presence.
Huh?
I was just boosting a map presence, right?
I don't know what that is. Can you not hear that though, Candy? Because I muted the daggum site.
I can hold my breath. I can bite my tongue. I can stay awake for days if that's what you want. Be a number one. I can fake a smile. I can force a laugh. I can dance and play the part of
that's what you ask. Give you all I am. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. But I'm only human, and I bleed when I fall down. I'm only human, and I crash and I break down. Your words in my head, knives in my heart. You build me up and then I fall apart, 'cause I'm only human.
I'm not gonna play any more than that. I want to. You guys should all go listen to that. I know that everybody's probably heard it, but actually listen to it. Listen to the words of that, because every single one of us are human, and every single one of us needs each other. I need you guys. And I'm gonna be wrong so much. And
You're
Cozy,
wrong a lot, but it's okay.
you're gonna be wrong. And I love you so much that I don't care.
I'm wrong all the time.
People come to me and they're like, this person. And I'm like, yeah, this person and this person, but why? Why are they saying this? Why are they doing this? Don't judge her for her walls. You don't know what it took to build them. And if you are willing to look at the other person and see what it could be, you might actually understand more about yourself than you could ever imagine. I just want people to stop grabbing at the hate, because it's so much easier. It's much more close. It's a better fit. It's not in the long run. And when I get things go crazy, when I get moments where everything is just chaos, I freeze. I freeze so hard. I can't move. And I've been frozen for 4 years now. And I'm trying to unthaw. I'm trying to get out of that. And we are all fighting for people. We are all fighting. Every single one of us that are here, we found our way because we're fighting for something. We are passionate about something. And those people that need to see things a different way, or they need to change their circumstances, you're not going to get somebody that is in a domestic violence situation to leave that situation. When you tell them it's safe, when you show them it's safe, they're still not going to believe you, because they've thought that before. And then they've jumped from the frying pan into the fire, and it hurts. The people that we're fighting for, we're trying to get them to understand our side, our point. If they look at the communities that we've had out there recently, they're going to stay where it's comfortable, that they know the enemy. They're not going to jump. They're not going to leave. They're not going to get out of that situation, because, God, why would you want to jump into something that is that horrible on the outside? Open arms. You may see something of somebody and you may judge that. You may think that that is the way it is, because you're looking through your point of view. And that makes, if you're doing that, it makes you ignorant. It makes me ignorant if I do that. I only wish that people could understand that. If you were looking at what somebody is doing wrong, look at what you are doing wrong. Compare yourself to that person. A little bit of understanding. I will not apologize for my God. I'm not asking for an apology from anybody else. I'm tired of apologizing for me being me. Narcissistic as this sounds, I kind of like myself. Kind of
Like
proud of
you.
who I am. I like you. I love you.
Hmm.
And I love what we can do if we don't have all this other bullshit in our way. I just don't know. I say, don't be an ostrich. Don't keep your head in the sand. This world is changing fast. Fast. And it's not going to be pretty, a lot of it. And it's scary as heck. Don't we want to have our village strong? Don't we want to have a place where we can come and know that no matter what, there won't be judgment because we've understood and we are coming from a place of love, not our hurt. We are coming from a place of love because we have overcame that hurt and the pain and the anger and all of that the best we can, because we know that that is not where the love is. That is not how we move forward. And we're going to get angry. We're going to get pissed off. We're going to say things. We're going to do things. And damn it, sometimes it feels good. Sometimes it feels good to just stand there and scream. But not all the time. Not all the time. And I'm tired of that damn yuck. Kazi, I'm tired of it. Aren't you tired of it?
Yeah, it's tiring.
There's so much crap that we need to be doing. And it's, to be honest, doing a disservice to every single person that we're fighting for if we're fighting within. You guys, y'all are an army. You may not know it yet. Some of you might not realize just how important you are, but we are building an army. And I proudly will stand beside every single one of you, even the ones that aren't here right now. I just don't want to worry about who's got the knives in their hands to shove it in somebody else's back. That is the old world. That's not what I'm about.
Katie Light said something that's really true. People don't want us to lie to them, but they are scared of the truth. So
Yeah.
true. You know, because I'm very big on the truth. I love the truth. It's I'm facts oriented, and I've gotten into trouble for the truth quite a lot lately.
Yeah.
For me telling the truth, I've lost a friendship for telling the truth. Getting into trouble for telling the truth online for my family. It's just people don't want to hear the truth. Truth tellers, shoot the messenger is something that I'm finding to be saying that's not just a saying, but it's something that in the end, the truth is going to be there, regardless of opinions.
And define
So,
truth. Define truth.
well, facts. And facts change.
Your truth is going to be different from my truth, even though they're very similar. But your
Yeah,
truth
that's
is always
true.
going to be different. And
But
sometimes
I guess
people find truth
I'm
difficult.
basing it on facts. Like if an orange is an orange, you can't change the fact an orange is an orange until it is rotten, and then it's brown.
And then it turns yuck,
But
yuck, yuck. And then what do we do with it?
but that's still factual. They're still based on facts.
Right.
But when you're looking at an orange, it's still orange. You can't say to me that orange is an orange.
I think the point that I'm trying to make with that is sometimes people don't always see the truth because
Yeah.
it's not their truth.
That's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. But that's what I'm saying. Like truth, opinions aren't based. Facts are facts. Opinions are opinions. And
we just have to be willing to allow somebody to find their truth in a way that it's to find their truth in a way that is actually going to stick with them to be truth, that they can recognize it as truth instead of just forcing the truth down. Allow somebody else to
a factual based person. And I'm just like, well, if you're not going to face the facts, what's the point of you?
Yeah. And I understand that. I really do. In fact, what I have pulled up, y'all close your eyes if you're going to be offended. Because it could be offensive, but I can't help it. What I'm trying to say, I think, is that sometimes people do not understand. They can't recognize, if you're in an abusive relationship, you can't recognize that you're in an abusive relationship at times, right?
Well, that's true. I guess I'm
And
not talking about the same thing.
yeah, I know we're talking about two different things, but we're still talking about our truths.
Yeah.
The lie said to the truth.
I love
Let's
that
take it
painting.
together. I love this. I'll say it. So probably people are sick of hearing about it, probably, but the well is very well water is very nice. The truth, still suspicious, tested the water and found out it was really nice. So they got naked and bathed. But suddenly, the lie leapt out of the water and fled, wearing the clothes of the truth. The truth, furious, climbed out of the well to get her clothes back. But the world, upon seeing the naked truth, looked away. With anger and contempt, poor truth returned to the well and disappeared forever, hiding her shame. Since then, the lie runs around the world, dressed as the truth, and society is very happy because the world has no desire to know the naked truth. We
Seems
as
about right,
society,
doesn't it?
we're not willing to see the truth anymore. We just want to see our color of it. So knowing that, how do we come to my truth looking like your truth and working together for the truth?
I guess I see it as a tree is a tree. You can't say a tree isn't a tree. You just have to decide what sort of tree is the tree, depending on what your science is.
How do
And
we do that though?
that's your truth. But the tree is still going to be a tree at the end of the day.
And
Or a
it
rock
still
is
makes
still going
a
to be
sound.
a rock. It's just up to your science whether you decide what that rock is. That's your truth as to what that rock is, but it's still a rock. That's my science. That's my truth, is that it's still going to be a rock at the end of the day. And I guess that's getting down to the basics of the truth. And even when you're being abused in an abusive relationship, you can tie it down to you're still being abused, whether or not you want to tie it down to how you're being abused or whether or not you want to accept you're being abused, but you're still being abused. And that's like what I'm going through right now with my sister. She's decided that because she's not happy with me, she's decided to rewrite history and that my mother hasn't abused her. That's fine, but she can't decide to rewrite history and then take back everything she's told me about what my mother has done to her and my mother has done and say it's not abuse because I know what it is.
And it is
She's
not for
just,
you to defend anything except for what you know.
yeah, but she's just changed her opinion on me. She can't change facts or history.
Right.
She can't. Then she's just changed. She's just decided to change what tree it is. She can't decide. She can't decide to say it's not a tree anymore. It's still a tree.
She's the one that's walking away from the truth.
Yeah, because
And
she's
that,
decided she doesn't like me, so she's decided that she's not a tree anymore.
see, I've had that happen to me my entire life. People, because I don't have family and because I don't have people that would stand up for me, if something was ugly, they would put it off on me because I would take it and nobody would defend me because I didn't have the means to be defended. And so I grew very strong shoulders and I started avoiding the truth and the fact that if that was the case, then that had to be true. I'm starting to embrace the truth, but it took me a long time to get there. And some way, somehow, we have to find ways to be able to handle things without throwing people away, without putting things on them that's not theirs, that necessarily that we are seeing things through our assumptions versus reality, because too many people are getting hurt from it. And it's
Yeah. And I guess in my instance is that do I decide that her hurt is more important than deciding that using my example of my mother it's better to use my example of my mother to help more people than hiding and just keeping my mother a secret to keep my sister happy. You know?
and that's a very, very good point. Now, people don't have to come and believe what you're saying, but they have the right to be able to make the decision. But you can't control that one way or the other.
No.
But you know your truth.
I know my truth. And I respect my sister's right to feel hurt and have this hurt.
Mhm.
But I also am not going to let her control me.
That's right.
I'm doing this for the greater good, because my mother, what she did was so destructive that if I let it go, if I continue to let it be secret and continue to let what my family did in this secret to continue to be secret, just this abuse festers in secrets.
It damn sure does.
And so if I just continue to let this happen, then I'm just perpetuating,
You're exactly
past.
right. You're exactly
So
right. That is it. Golly.
So I can't be part of that. So my sister is welcome to be part of that. She can keep her silence, but I'm not going to.
And I'm proud of you. Too many people have gotten away with too much.
So I'm going. Yeah, and it's been a battle. It's been a big battle, and of today of all days, which I won't get into. But it's just like it's been a big battle to decide truth matters more than family connection and feelings, and my desire to help people and save lives matters more than my connection to my family.
Kazi, I have a very small family, especially if you look at blood. And I love my family. I have more family than them, though. I have love. Family, most of the time, has been pain.
Yeah.
I've got my girl. I've got the Grand Princess, who, by the way, did a video that I just got through watching before this started, and oh my God, she's hilarious. When something brings you more pain than it does anything else, you don't have to stay there just because. I'm going to get to the chat. We've got Facebook Mom in the house, and that is amazing. We've got Aria in the house. Jim Marie. You guys, I think I fixed the wrenches. If I didn't, let me know. We've got Katie. Hi, Katie. Oh my gosh, Katie. Let's see. I'm really horrible at chat. I really am. And you guys want to know what part of that is? We've got Sue with Bud Files. Hello. When we did graduation, I had just lost Mom. And a friend of mine and I were going to be naming everybody that was in the class that was graduating. We were going to be naming them, and we made up like a little story about what their future was going to be like. And everybody, it was hilarious. Everybody laughed, and we had a good time. But do you know what Misha does? Misha does not think even to do the friend of mine that was standing beside me. I left her out. And so now I think every single time that I'm going to leave somebody out, and I start thinking about that, and then my mind starts going la 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 all over the place. Yeah, it's a thing. Jimena, a lot happens, and that's the thing, is so many of us are getting hurt, and so many of us don't even know, and I don't even know how to explain it, because it's one of those things that I think that a lot of us we're in our world, and we see things, and like I've had a lot of people get upset with me because I didn't handle things a certain way, but I handled them the way that I knew how to handle them. And I think a lot of people are getting upset because they're not handling the ways that they think that they should be handled. And because of that, they think that it is an assault upon them, and it's not. A lot of times people don't even realize that it's affected somebody at all. And it just needs to be a reminder of what we are doing. And as far as creators, if you have a channel and you're saying something, and I hate to break it to y'all, but even if you've never spoken live on a YouTube video, you're still a channel. You have to become one to be able to talk and chat. And in my opinion, that comes with responsibility. It doesn't come with the fact that you are responsible and have to put your entire life on hold because you have to do this or that. But it does come with the responsibility of being human. It comes with responsibility of being empathetic as much as you are able to, and being understanding, and being able to not make others feel badly because they didn't do things a certain way. We have a responsibility of saying something to each other if we hurt each other, and hoping and trying our best to be able to discuss it versus pointing fingers and just being mean. There's other ways to do it. And it's not by gossiping. It's not by belittling. It's not by calling names or expecting people to come to where you're at, or vice versa. And it's stopping. You know, there's people, I've seen different things where people are like, well, why don't you just call this person out? Why don't you just say where you stand on things? We don't have to. We are Americans. We are humans. Not all of us are Americans, so I don't even know why I said that. And that comes with the whole thing too. But we have certain rights that we should be born with. And we shouldn't have to say how we feel about every single thing. But we should be respectful in the fact that if somebody feels that way, try to understand it if it's not the same as the way you feel. So it's not any one particular thing.
I was going to say, who's been being mean to you?
Girl. Just girl.
Give me their names.
Right. And it's not being mean to me.
Right, Rolling Stone. I know. It's just people letting out their emotions, and it comes forth in ways that it's not always kind.
And a lot of us take it on, and we're not asked to. Some of us, sometimes we are. So let me rephrase that one too. But I think I needed to empty my tank a little bit. I needed to get some blah, 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 blahs out. Nothing in particular really has happened that I want to call out.
That was a joke.
I know. It's just really important to me because I feel the pain. And I don't like losing people, because how do you choose sides on something when you weren't there to know what was really the truth or not? And if you're not given the chance to understand, if you've never lived a certain life, you're not going to understand a certain philosophy. If you've never been homeless, you're not going to understand the trouble that you have being homeless.
No, I would never understand it.
Boy, you know, I think that there's a lot of unnecessary drama and pain that's going on. And I, for one, am sick of it. And in the village, I don't care what you believe in, so long as you don't push it on me and push it on others. If you educate me, I will listen gladly. If you share, I will be there as best I can. But I don't want people feeling uncomfortable in the village. And I don't like the fact that I have left the village as much as I have recently. But I also do love the fact that there are people within that village that are still holding the village up, because I can't save the world. I don't know why I think that I have to feel responsible in that way, but I do. And that is my own personal issues that I have to deal with, because I can't take on the responsibilities that I do. It doesn't get us anywhere. All it does is get us all sunk. And I don't know what I'm doing. I would like to find ways to do what I want to do and what I feel needs to be done, but I don't know what I'm doing. But I don't want to let y'all down. And I feel like there's a lot of unnecessary crap going on. And there's a lot of pain and hurt just because one person doesn't want to see things from somebody else's side. We should look more towards opening our arms instead of closing them or pushing. And I'm just blabbering.
I just like listening to your voice. And you've got lots of important stuff to say. So, you know.
How to say it. Barbie and Lindley. Right here, Janet. It is.
That's another one of my favorite quotes. Perfect is the enemy of good, which is from Voltaire.
Yeah. And it's so true. Oh,
So,
I love you guys.
I haven't walked away from you.
I haven't walked away from anybody. I've just been hiding out.
I was talking to Jen.
I was going to show y'all my Valentine for the year. It's not anything personal, and that's what I think people get. You know, it's especially for me personally, I've always ghosted, but the friends that I've had for 30 years, I do have a couple, believe it or not. And they understand the fact that, yeah, Misha's she's doing her thing. Because sometimes it gets so loud in my head and I'm running out of time. I've always been on a race for time, but especially now. And I just have to be quiet because that's how I can think, because it is not quiet anywhere in my life. And if
Actually,
people to know me for that.
There you go.
I thought that was quite perfect.
I had an idea,
What's
which
that?
I haven't had time this week to come up with. Like, haven't had time this week to set up. But I wanted to do like a Zoom dance party.
Dance party. Dance party.
Yeah. So like, instead of it being like on Facebook, because you can't have the music, but like have like people come to like Zoom and just hang out and listen to music and have a chat. Like the music won't be loud enough that you can't talk, but and it won't be any sort of nothing, no set topic. It will just be anything. I was talking about it with Jen actually. Jen, I've had a bit of a week. So I couldn't get Zoom sorted out. I could only get like, I think 9 people in, and I felt like if more than 9 people wanted to come any one time, I didn't want anyone to miss out. So I would wondering if anyone would be interested in something like that.
I think that would be great. We've done that a couple of times. The
Yeah.
Zoom, and it's been very therapeutic.
Or Discord, something like Discord.
That's what I was going to say. If anybody out there is good at Discord, I have a Discord.
I have a Discord. I'm on Discord, but I know a lot of people are, because of the name, they're not happy about the name, and there was some drama with Discord, but it's very easy to use, and I'm very willing to set it up, and it's free to use. So and you can go off on your own chats and all that sort of stuff. And I was but something like that would be. I was thinking something like that would be fun to set up, and I'd like to do something like that, like an actual connection type. Just random, nothing but moderated.
Well, that's what we were kind of talking about before we started this tonight. And I think that we did something. We didn't. Actually, it was Carol who started it. It was called Needing a Meeting. And for anybody that's seen the TV show Mom.
Oh, I never blew you off, Jen.
That was what it was based off of. And it was anytime anybody's needing a meeting, they could say, hey, I need a meeting, and come together. And it got to where that we did it every single day at a certain time, and people could come on. But I think that it became so much. And I think that partially that was the overwhelm that we all experience, I think. And life, sometimes things benefit us in different ways. And
this would be just a once a week type thing. So, we all know that we can come there once a week and hang out and just blow off steam, listen to some random music, and everyone can. I'd be the DJ because I always have to be in control of the music, but everyone can it's just who I am. But everyone can put in playlists so they can. What's the word?
Request songs.
They can request songs. So everyone gets to. We all get to listen, and also while the song's playing, we can type why it's important to you, and then we get to hear why the song's important to that particular person, and listen. Listen. Huh?
Hockeytown John, he was going to start a channel where he got to take the music and would review it, and because he says that there are so many emotions in music, and so he was going to do reviews on certain songs. And I think that is
I don't want to do that. I just want the person while it's playing to tell why it's important to them, like their favorite song or whatever. And it doesn't even have to be that deep. It ain't that deep. It
just made me think of that. I was like,
but that because I don't want to do because me reviewing songs, God, it's putting a lot of pressure on me.
Yeah, I wasn't putting that on you like I did.
No, but because I tried to do that and I couldn't even figure out. I was sitting there and then it accidentally came on, and I'm like, oh my God, come on.
There you are.
Accidentally. I don't even know what button I pushed.
Whoopsie. You know what got me out of Discord? I got out of Discord because Aria was on one time, and I didn't realize that I had the voice thing on, and I didn't realize what it was. And all of a sudden, I'm sitting here just having a good time, doing my little thing, working. And all of a sudden I hear a man's voice in the house, and I'm like, huh? And it was Aria. from all the way in Israel. And we had a great chat, but it freaked me out so bad because anybody at any time could get on there. But I realize now that there's ways to fix that. But it was very, it was a great experience overall. But at the same time, it was one of those, there's a man in my house.
See, everyone's saying that music, my feelings are noisy and music is what feelings sound like. See, that's beautiful. And that's exactly what I'd like to do because, you know, cosmic connections and
Yeah.
the universe has has sound, has music. You know,
Oh
there's
my God, that it does.
universe to music. So, you know, and if cosmic connections is not connection, why if not better than music? And I words better in music.
Yes.
So, you know, I'd love to share music with my village. So, and
I
I'd
love
love to have my village to share music with me. So, I'd love to set up some sort of Discord if someone
What
could
do you
help
guys
me
think?
set up some. Yeah.
Let's get a 7 for anybody that thinks that that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Jen, I know that you've never given up on me. I know that you've never given up. I think you and I get each other in that aspect because we do all need our spaces. And it's not a bad thing to need our spaces. So no, I've never thought that about you. Never. We got you. And you got us.
Jen's one
I
of the
think
reasons why I was thinking of it as well because she's so
yeah,
cool. I
and
reckon
she's
she's
really
got
into
some
music
cool
too.
music. Yeah.
She's
Well,
really
not Discord. Well, if we can think of something other than Discord, you know, that we can all bring together. That because I was
if Mister
thinking
can get
Zoom,
the
but I don't
website up,
know.
if I
Yeah,
can get the
just
website up, we can do it there.
yeah. It
And that would be a lot
because
less public.
yeah, I just don't want it public because like as soon as you put it on YouTube, we get copyright striked and
Right.
because
No, on the website we could do anything we wanted.
yeah, because I put music. I had music up that was played on YouTube, and then it got restricted. So I was like, well, how does that work? But anyway,
I know it sucks because there's so many good things, which I'm surprised we didn't get kicked off. I thought it might kick us off doing the human song, but
maybe because it wasn't long enough. But
yeah,
it might when you keep this up, it might when it does its AI algorithm thing, it might pick it up later and do restricted
right. It's
copyright
okay
thing.
though because I was willing to risk it for that. I think that was necessary, and I think that there's a lot of music that's necessary like that. Katie, I
Yeah.
so hear you, babe. I so hear you. I hate that I'm behind on the chats because there's some good stuff that if I could catch it. We were talking about doing the meeting thing though. Again, we were talking about bringing that back up, but it's going to be more recovery. Because I
Recovery,
think,
healing,
yeah,
just not away from drama.
yeah. And that's totally it. The drama has got to stop. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this tonight is the drama. Guys, we've got to be able to come to each other and not say things that are detrimental. And some things we know are detrimental and we're still saying them. And that is not allowed in the village. One side
Well,
or the
any
other.
sort of recovery,
Yeah.
recovery from trauma, the recovery like what we were doing before, what we were doing, what I feel like what I'm missing out on in particular, because I'm struggling without it. I'm feeling like it's something that I'm missing. Having my mornings are missing it every day.
It was
Everyone else had it in the afternoons, but it was my mornings.
right. It was such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of us missed out on that. And it wasn't a negative thing. It was honestly, it was a beautiful thing because she has been able to go forward in her life. I just think that a lot of us lost our tether to each other. And I would like to bring that back if we could. And so if anybody's interested in that, here's the thing. I have a lot of things that I want to do and I can't because I always overload myself with ideas and I never have any follow through. And I'm trying to get myself back down to where I can have the follow through again. And that's where I want to give a platform for anybody that wants to do this stuff. If they want to help out, let's get together and start working together to do stuff instead of me just saying I want to do this and then never doing it. If you guys want to do it, let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think because I actually do a similar thing because I do smart recovery regularly. The difference is that there's very little connection outside of smart recovery, which is on purpose. They don't want. It's like they don't want us making connections outside the groups.
Right.
On purpose.
Yeah. Sometimes those connections aren't always good because I've had a few of those.
Yeah, so but that's on purpose. But in some instances, you need deeper connections to continue. You know, you need those deeper connections. So that's why I feel like we need more a peer support group like this.
Yes, and I have. Oh my gosh, y'all. Okay, so the other day I've discovered Notebook LM. I don't know if anybody knows what that is or not. But
No.
I've done, Did you say you do?
No, I haven't heard of it. But I was just sort of thinking, I was reading the comments, and then I was about to go Google it. Was it Notebook something?
Well, I'll actually show you if you would do me a favor and get the comments to where that we can, because it's easier for me not to like do them straight through. I'm not very good, like I said, at them.
I don't know how to click them up.
Good point. Well, okay. Katie,
I don't think I can.
you can scroll through though and look at them, right? You are able
Yeah,
to
I
do
can
that.
scroll through and look. Yeah.
Because that I think I'd have to do that on the outside of this, and I don't have the brain for that right now. But if you can do that and just kind of talk to them, and then if it's something I need to pull up, let me know and I'll come back to it, and I'll pull up the notebook and show you guys what we did, because I've got peer support training. Oh my God, I've got so much. Keela has given us a ton of resources, and so I'm compiling.
Jen was just saying that Carol's channel was pure.
Yeah.
And that my other's keeper saying she burnt out though.
Yeah.
And Rolling Stone really miss Carol in her 4 o'clock. Rolling
Stone's in here?
Yes.
Get out. Oh, hey, Rolling Stone, I love you. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see that you're here. We've got to do this. We've got to bring each other back, because it hurts not having you guys. I think that if anybody, we need to be able to talk it over and see how we can do it. But I think that if we did it like on the village, then we could do it to where that whoever wants to do it on their channels can. But then anytime anybody needs a meeting, there's enough of us there now that we can say, okay, and somebody just take it to their channel or do it on the village, however we want to do it. But that way, anytime we have to have a meeting, we can. And have, just only a couple of people on or 4 people on it a day on the regular days meetings. And that way it's not any surprises and it's not anything that's too overwhelming. Because if one of us gets burnt out, if I would have been able to say I'm getting burnt out ahead of time, it probably would have helped. And if we can catch each other whenever that's at that point.
Yeah. I think it's too much for any one person to do every day.
I agree. Okay, I've got this. Okay. College, it's great to see you here. And the empath thing is real. And I think a majority of us here in our community are empaths. And there was something. I'm going to go back through here in a minute, though, because I'm going to get overwhelmed on these. Jimena is always so wise. And that should not be a reflection on the friendship. And that's it. That's it. We should not have to feel like we have to stay somewhere just because we are trying to be loyal to our friends. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit. And that's what I was wanting with the village. Enough people and enough different places for people to come to that they could all feel welcome and find places that they might not ever found otherwise. And still be okay. You know, if somebody leaves, I try to check up on them and I try to see what happened, because it's important to me that if something happened, we can try to circumvent it. If somebody gets their like, if somebody has done something to somebody, it's important to know and to try to work towards something that changes that. I don't like to get involved in things though, and so that's hard too. I think that we each have our own purpose, and we have enough people that are able to do this, that we can have the people that are moderators. We can have people that are able to come in between and allow not their personal senses to get affected by it, and be able to see things from either side and say, look, there's this. Every person should be seen. Every person should be heard. And in being a community, we shouldn't hurt each other because somebody felt like they didn't fit there. And if a
I
friendship,
think there's also,
then it's
there
real.
also, because there's times when we come in waves. There's waves when we need more than times. There's times when I've needed the village more than others, and there's times when other people have needed the village more than others. So, and I can feel that, you know, people feel like they're not being seen enough.
Yeah,
You know, and just know that we see you.
we do. It's just sometimes it's hard to be able to seeing everybody because that's, you know, with me being absent, I still have everybody comes in my head. Every single person that's been in here has came in my head, and I've smiled and I've giggled and I've had conversations with you guys. You don't have them back though. And that's a problem that I have. I do that. And I've always done that. It's hard to be able to be there for everybody when
Yeah.
I don't think that people really realize that when we say we love you, we really do.
So I'm just trying to read all the comments. You're going fast. I can't read them all.
I know. I think that a producer would be great for us to like each take turns being producers. And that way somebody could take care of the chat to where that we could all see the chat, but not be like, because I get quiet.
I'd have to learn what a producer does.
Well, really, I mean, it would be somebody that would be in the backstage that didn't necessarily have to talk if they didn't want to, but could.
I could do that. I could do that easy.
Each of us focus on just one thing. Like if we've got something we want to put out there and show, then we can do that. And if we want to, because I'm bad about getting in a conversation and just ignoring everything else. And so I'm not good at this channel thing at all. But if we each had our own, you know, what we were doing, then I think it would work better. And so then I could go and just focus on chat for somebody and we could take turns with each other.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to do things. I just think that because I'm not in the main, I'm just on the web page, I can't do much. I can't click on things. I can't click on this thing here.
Well, that's because you're not the admin on this.
Oh, well, there you go.
That can be rectified. But I think
Oh, no, don't do that.
We need to know.
I don't need that responsibility.
Right. But I think that we do. Hells is going to do, and I just said that. I dang sure did. is going to be doing a moderator class. And in that, we're going to be putting forth how to do certain things, how to have your channel, how to do all that. There's a lot of things that work, but it just takes time to do it. And if we have more people that are ready to do it, and if we can actually, because I'm real bad, people are telling me that they want to do this, and then I get lost and can't come back to it. And so if we had ways to keep each other working together, I need help. Y'all need help. Let's help each other. Because we've all got stuff that we can put forward.
Yeah. Jen's just saying that her stuff's not really village oriented. Mine's not really either, because I have to be political, and the village you can't really be political in the village. Kind of got to keep the village away from politics, because people, religion and politics, there's two things people are definitely going to fight about.
But
but no, I'll just finish it. But I'll just say my thing is that I have to target politicians and politics. So I have to be political on my page. So I have to be political. So I can't say I can't be political and not be political on the village. So I have to, for me, I have to keep it off. For me to be keeping in line with the village and keeping it off politics, I can't have my page aligned with the village.
And see, that's where I differ, though, because every single different personality, every single different opinion should be able to be represented in the village. People don't have to go to it. The thing that should be done is, if somebody comes into your channel and disagrees with you, handle it respectfully, which I know you would. And if they aren't respectful about it, that's where you have mods that can say, hey, you're not going to be respectful, then we don't want to hear it. And if they try again, then they can be booted. We have the power of the wrench, and most of us know how to use our wrenches pretty well. And I'm sorry, but Whack-A-Troll can be fun.
Yeah. I actually got told when I went on my live this morning, I got told I had a little pop-up saying, you need a moderator. I'm like, I probably do. Just like, well, once I figure out how to do that, once I figure out how to block people, I'll figure out how to moderate.
Right. Which I can show you that, baby. We just need to be able to come together and do it. And I think it would help a lot of people. There's so much that I don't even know. And if people would come on and show us how to do these things, I think it would help us as a group. But as far as
I've got to start watching YouTube cooking videos and start watch YouTube editing videos.
I do a lot of that. That's a lot of my day is spent learning stuff like that. I really think that, there's Christian, there's spiritual, there's all these different channels, and they are all welcome. They're all, because no offense, Kim, I love you, but it shouldn't just be one channel. People need to come in and put their stuff in. I want that. There's things that I don't necessarily think I'm going to put on the village, but the majority of the stuff I will. But if there's something that's like, it's going to be something and you don't feel comfortable putting it on there, then don't. But at least allow your point of view to be shown and shared. Because how is somebody else that's got that same point of view, but they're scared to give it? How are they going to do so unless they see others?
Sure, it's like living in the bubble. I don't want to live in a bubble.
I'm tired of living in a damn bubble. There are enough of us out there with big hearts. We can overcome the people out there that are winning right now with the no hearts. And every single person that doesn't have a heart, what caused that person to be that way? There's always more to every person. And I'm not going to go there again. Let's just stop. Okay.
Well, I'm going to have to go soon because it's like nearly 3:30 in the afternoon. I have to go shop.
Y'all, we're in the future. It's not Happy Lovers Day anymore. It's way in the future.
Yes. It's Not Valentine's Day here. Oh man, I had the funniest. I'll tell you about my date that I had.
Yes, tell us.
So,
I love you, Amina, and yes, you did.
so turns out I had some random on the internet was like, someone come for a date, and I was just like, I want to have a funny story, and he asked me for a date, and I was like, sure, why not? And honestly, it was the most awkward thing ever because he was like 12 years older than me, but I'm just sitting there going, I'm just talking because all I do is talk. And I'm like, so what do you think about racism? He's like, I don't want to talk about racism. I'm like, racist. Probably not. But I'm very political, you know. I'm just like, and I also didn't want to be on a date. I like yesterday was not a good day for me. I was very I just wanted to be in bed, but I was just like I decided to not be in bed, but I was just like it was very awkward, and I was just like I was trying very hard to make sure this guy didn't ask me on a second date. So I made it very awkward. And I was just like talking, and I was just like, so what do you think about politics? What do you think about religion? He was honestly a very nice fellow, you know, decent fellow, but 12 years older than me, not my
Yeah.
scene. And
Yeah,
you know, I'll go have coffee with him, talk about everything other than everything else. End of the night, he goes, there is nothing between us. I was like, oh, yeah, absolutely not.
At least he didn't try to make it, you know.
No, I was laying out all the red flags I possibly could, and he picked them all up, and I was so grateful. No. Oh,
I don't
that was
miss
pretty
dating.
funny.
I really don't miss
Yeah,
dating. I don't miss the outside world, and this is a horrible thing to say, but I really don't miss the outside world like people would think that I would.
I just wanted to get out of the house. I paid for my meal, so it's not like I wanted a free meal or anything like
Right.
that. I paid for my half, Dutch or whatever you call it these days.
That's good though.
So that was pretty funny, and it's a funny story. And I wanted to get out of the house and not be home alone. Well, not wouldn't have been home. I wouldn't have been alone, but I didn't want to be home miserable on Valentine's Day. And yeah, there's a story behind that.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, there's a lot of different things that are going on, and I'm loving the fact that we're able to see the light in situations. And when we aren't able to, I want us to be able to come to places where people are able to.
Yeah, you know, we all need a little bit of light in the dark.
I'm going through these and I'm just like, wow, we've got some amazing people. And of course, we've got the never wrong Henri. That is a very good point. Thank you for that.
Yes, lots of lies.
And you know, people do that with the Bible. They do that with the headlines on the days, you know. But I want to show you guys this notebook. So I'm going to take a break on the chat again, I think.
I'm gonna head off.
Are you going to get off?
Oh,
She's going to abandon me.
I'm so sorry. I've got to get going.
I still love you.
I love you. And I've missed you so very much.
I miss you too. Don't
And
let
we'll
me
talk
be a
soon.
stranger.
No, I won't let you. I try not to. You see I harass you on the DMs.
And thank you for not giving up on me.
I never give up.
I love you, babe.
I've forgotten where the button is.
Top right hand corner.
Oh, it's down the bottom. It's down the bottom.
It's on the bottom.
It's down the bottom. Just right there. Yeah. Love yous.
I love you too.
Bye.
I love you. Okay, you guys. I still want to be on for a little bit because I still haven't said everything, even though I don't know what to say. There's just a lot in this head of mine that I feel like I want to get out. So if somebody wants to come up here and help me and to be with me, how to fix a wrench, how to fix a wrench. How do you fix a wrench? And Barbie, yeah. And that's what I want the village to continue to be, instead of everything else that's going on. And I need to throw this out there. Oh, we got our gal in a minute. Hi, baby. Hello, hello. Thank you for hopping on. You know, like you said, whenever you were able to come to me and you spoke to me, and we didn't necessarily deal with it the way that we probably should have, because I was so in my own yuck, but we still left that line open.
Yeah,
and I've never stopped caring for you. And I've always appreciated and loved you. And that's important, that we can do that and not leave each other.
Hey, Krumel, that's my knight in his shining armor.
Kermel's here.
So just want to say, Misha, and that's why I jumped in. Like, I think we are adults, and like I said, we should be able to speak our differences and say, hey, I need space, I need this, I need that. And we need to respect each other, right? And we don't have to agree with everything, but we can still collaborate, and we can still be professionals, and we can still have a community where we can support each other.
Yes.
So, in my opinion, like, don't focus on the drama, focus on the good things that we are putting out there. And if there's conflict, let the people with the conflict work with that, and just continue your what you're doing. That's what I'm doing. Like, I get drama, I get conflicts also. I've fought with people. We have differences, but we still collaborate. And if I see them, I will be respectful. I won't be doing anything bad, because it's for the greater good, right? So I'm sorry. I'm getting feedback.
Yeah. Jen,
It
what's
was
wrong?
me. Nothing. I already muted the other one, so it should be fine now.
Okay.
Hey, Jen. Hey.
So yeah. Sorry, I look awful today.
You never look awful.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It's important to see the greater picture. And that's why I'm not engaging now in conflicts, or like, let's just do what we do best, which is help people, be there for people, create connections, different points of contact, and be there for each other. And just don't lose that bigger goal with these things that is drama, because that's only dragging us down instead of pushing us up.
Right. The only thing is trying to figure out, because I've not dealt with the drama most of the past 2-something years now. I have tried and done my best to stay out of it. But I think if we're going to be building something, we have to at least address it in a way that we can't just let it grow underneath our feet.
And I agree.
If there are things that are being done, if we can focus on the negative by saying that's not going to happen here, and address it and say that we're not going to allow that here. And that way there's no surprises. If somebody gets kicked off, they're kicked off because they were told we don't allow that here.
Yeah, but I think that's kind of cultish, in my opinion. Like, we're different human beings. We have different cultures. That if you have conflicts with your family, because you, like, even growing up with them and living with them, you have conflict. So conflict is healthy. It's not a bad
Right.
thing to have conflict. I think the important thing is to have a conflict resolution, respect space,
That's
and
what I'm
all.
trying to get at. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at here.
So it's
Because
just
we have people that are leaving because they don't feel it's a safe space. And it's, if we're going to be building something, we need to build something that shows, because you know me, I mean, I'm not the one that's going to say, don't say your piece. I think that everybody should be heard. I just think that it has to be done so in a way that is not hurtful to other people.
But
And that's
for
what I'm
example,
trying to
what I
get at.
did, Misha, I can't be in the village, and I told you because I'm not going to be part of a space where like I don't want to go there right now.
Right, right, right.
I'm just gonna leave that there between you and I. So I left that, but I'm gonna support you in every way I can outside the chats and outside of everything because I believe in the mission that you have for the village.
Thank you.
That doesn't mean I have to be engaged with conversations with people I don't want to be
Exactly.
engaged with. And that's my boundary and that's my right as a human being. So that doesn't mean we're not going to be able to collaborate. So I think what we need to take into account is we need to separate things. One thing is the village and the mission, and we can see it as a professional setting.
Hmm.
And there's another thing that it's a personal setting, that it's the engaging with all of these fights. And that's okay to have, but that's outside the village. So you want to have a conversation, have it outside the village. In the
That's good.
village, we're going to respect each other. You go kill yourselves if you want outside. But here, we are going to be respectful, but it's not a cult. And they are allowed to say, I don't want to be part of this and leave. That's also, it's okay.
Absolutely. And that's not at all what I was trying to say. What I was just trying to say is there are people that are literally saying things that should not be allowed to be said anywhere ever to somebody else because they don't feel a certain way. That's what I'm trying to get at. It cannot be something that is said to hurt somebody because they aren't seeing things their way. We should never ever force an opinion or a belief that we have on anybody ever. It should not be allowed. You can say your part, you can say what you believe in, but you can't
Or
threaten
how,
another person's life because
Absolutely.
or how about you not ignore them and treat them like they don't exist because
right.
you have some beef with them that they don't even know about, or they don't share your beliefs. It's just, that's why I left. I'm not going to keep going into a group chat where 3 people talk to me.
And it's hard on those chats. I don't like going in on them very often either.
No, I'm
Because it's
talking
so
about
overwhelming.
the village Facebook group chat.
I know that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I left that one.
Those are hard for me because the way
Mhm.
that my brain works and scrolling up, and then by the time you get to it to answer it, it's already over. And so they serve their purpose, but it's not something that I can handle personally myself. Like when it's the live streaming, whenever we're doing something and we need people to be like talking about what's going on and not have it like loud, because it gets confusing and all those things, then yes. And being able to reach out, that's helpful too. But for me personally, I don't deal well with them. And that's not something that should be a requirement.
But
It helps, it helps.
chats are always a conflict. If you
Yeah.
have a neighbor chat or a mom's chat at school or a group chat somewhere, it's going to be a conflict there, always.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, you should get rid of the chats. When we have an event, you put the chat on, it serves its purpose, and then you close it. Because then you don't get that conflict. If they have conflicts, they can take it outside.
Yeah.
Because,
And doing it maybe in a Zoom meeting
yeah, exactly.
or somewhere like that. I mean, there needs to be a central place. And eventually, if I can get the website built before it's time to pay again, then there's going to be that. And everybody will have the password to be able to get into certain places because it should be a private only people that we know that we feel comfortable with to be able to discuss things. But even then, it's still not safe completely because you never really know. And so you have to be able to understand that. And that's where I have trouble because I'm trying to learn this thing just like everybody else. And I'm just trying to figure out how we can do it that's not going to cause more trouble. So the no chat thing, I'm kind of there But there's other people that are in those chats, I think, that are getting benefit from it.
But then they can create their own chat without the conflict that it's part of the village.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can set it up only that only admins can send messages, like we're gonna have a meeting in Zoom in 10 minutes. That's what you can do if you want to avoid that conflict. If they have a beef with each other and they want to fight, then they can chat with each other. We don't need to be part of that.
Because we are grown, you know,
Yeah.
like why can't people speak directly to each other?
Exactly.
Right. And I'm not a mediator.
No, and you shouldn't have to be a mediator. No one should.
Right. That's the
I mean,
thing.
haven't we already gone through this? I mean, really?
You would think, but then we're human and it comes up again. And so that's where I would like for all of us to come together and to do this right here, what we're doing. This right here, I think, is helpful because I allowed myself to get way overwhelmed and did things that I'm not proud of just by not wanting to be present at all.
Well, I think that having the three of us on here right now, the three people who have kind of been there since the beginning, but who are not there anymore, I think it speaks very loudly. You know, there's reasons why we're not in that chat anymore.
Who's the other person?
You.
That is
Me?
guys.
You,
let me
me, and
tell you.
Misha.
No, but there's another
Misha
person
didn't
too with a
leave.
hen or a
Oh,
rooster.
yeah. Who is that?
Let me introduce everybody. This is our college. Our college. Mr.
Oh, this is
Henri.
CLH.
I'm
Hello.
waiting for him to say something.
Hello?
There, yeah.
Hi.
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 Do you want to
How
introduce
are you?
yourself, sir?
CLH. Okay. Nice to meet you. Haven't seen you before.
We haven't talked before, Jimena, but I have joined a few of the live streams that you've done. Un placer poder
Yeah,
hablar
no,
con
I
usted
meant
brevemente.
in person.
Mm.
I do know who, like, I didn't know your picture. I know your handle. I had never had a conversation like this with you.
This is the second one that I know of him ever doing.
Nice.
Am I wrong on that? College?
You are correct.
I'm sorry?
Say that again. I like it.
You are correct.
I'm just struggling in the fact that I'm trying to learn how to do this and I've got a vision of what I want to do and you guys have things that you want to do and I know that we can all come together.
But we don't have to do everything in the
No,
village.
we don't. Jen, don't you go away, woman.
So what I'm trying to say here is that we all have our channels. We all have our platforms.
Mhm.
We can do things together in the village, but we don't have to be just this. Like we don't need to be doing everything together.
Right.
Like, we can do our separate things and then we can come together for events like we did in Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yes.
And maybe some collaborations once a month, once every other week. I don't know. Like do something like that. But then we can go on with our channels and with our lives without having to be like all the time together because that's going to create
Right.
conflict.
And that's not what I was wanting either. I don't want everybody to be all there just up because it's going to get on each other's nerves for one. But I want people to know that they are welcome. But I think what I'm trying to say the most part tonight is if you're going to say things that are hateful, that are beyond, that should not be allowed. And that is me putting my foot down. You can have your beliefs and I want to hear them. But if you're going to be blatantly pushful and hateful, then you can do that somewhere else.
And that's, I think, the healthiest thing to do. Like what I said, I don't agree with this, Misha. I'm going to leave. Sorry.
And we are still good. I mean.
And I never attacked anyone. I was never disrespectful to anyone. I don't agree with this that's going on. It's not part of who I am. This is me. I'm sorry. I'm setting a boundary and I'm leaving. Right. And that's my choice as an adult, like an adult. Like I can do that. And we're adults here. Like right. I don't think we're dealing with teenagers here, right? So I
don't want to.
It looks like we are.
Right.
So then this is the rules. If you want to have a fight, do it elsewhere. And I'm sorry. So that's what I'm like. What I'm trying to say is get rid of the chats, or just leave it as like you are going to be having the chats only for certain conversations. Only admins can write something. I don't know. Um, and then open them when you have to have a question like related to the village, and then
Right.
close it again. If like we are in kindergarten, if
Right.
that's how people want to be treated, it's fine.
Can I ask a question? So, like, for people that want to chat,
What?
isn't there that uh VLS, or what's that secondary chat thing that was for the village?
That's for actually that was supposed to be for the village live streams. That's why it's the
Oh,
VLS.
VLS.
I left
I
both.
love you.
But like I said, I still collaborate with you, Misha, and we're still like, if you
Yeah.
want to talk to me, we will. Like
Right.
you sent the message today of this stream, and I'm here. So
Yes.
I think that closing it and opening when it's just the events or we want to coordinate things, it's okay. And then we can go on with our lives and like do whatever we do and still be friends. Like I don't understand why it needs to be unnecessary drama.
Right. Well, and that's the thing. I kind of was coming on for my own personal what was going on with me at first, but then as the day progressed, more things come to my attention, and there's just certain things that I cannot tolerate with that has anything to do with us, and that is any time anybody is personally attacking another person. If they are personally attacking another person, it is not cool.
They can attack them outside the chat. Why make
Yeah.
it public?
Oh, and it wasn't even chat. It wasn't the chat. It wasn't in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it wasn't. This is just, and this is where I'm struggling because everybody should be able to have their own viewpoints. But
Wait, so they're complaining about somebody behind their back? That's even worse.
no,
That's
no,
so
no.
childish.
This is a call out in public for
Ugh,
everybody to see. And I'm
whatever.
just trying to circumvent before it does happen. I want it to be known that it cannot happen in our world. It absolutely cannot. We do not condemn or condone somebody hurting and attacking another person. It's not acceptable. And I'm tired of it. I am trying to deal with the things that I've got to deal with. You're trying to deal with the things that you've got to deal with. And we have things that we're trying to fight for.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a bunch of unnecessary bullcrap that is coming into play. And I'm kind of taking that off of me, in a sense, by saying it's not going to happen. And if it happens, it's been said.
Oops.
Huh?
Oh, sorry. My sound just started playing again for some reason. Kate, I don't think that. I mean, I don't. You know what? I can't even speak because I don't know what's going on in the Facebook group chat. But I don't think people are
It's
being
not. It's
nuisance
not the Facebook group chat.
in these chats at all.
No, and here's the thing. If somebody is doing something,
Mandy. Sorry.
meow. If somebody is doing something,
I want to hear College hear his opinion
Yes.
because he's here because we haven't spoke.
My opinion on the chats.
Yeah, what we're discussing right now. What's your like two cents?
Okay. I think that yes, we should do our best to act like adults and have disagreements because we are not trying to create clones or copies of a single opinion here. We want to create a space where we can talk freely about uncomfortable issues, maybe some taboo topics, but try to remember that despite the disagreements, we have to be respectful of one another. We have to see each other for the human being that we are. And maybe we do come across an opinion that we think, oh, I really don't like that. Absolutely. It will be uncomfortable, but try to remember that, as I think Awakened said earlier in this live stream, that um, I'm blanking right now. Please, no, not right now.
You're
What
good.
Awakened said earlier was that we have here a place without judgment, that we try to listen to one another. I think that since I am maybe missing some context, I am not able to provide more meaningful commentary, but do hope that if we need a break, a pause, take it. There is certainly enough on our plates that is happening in the real life that can be transferred over to the shared space. And that negative energy can infiltrate. If we need a break, so be it. We can come back later. And if we have wronged someone by accident or on purpose, to hopefully be able to, at some point, admit our faults and apologize, not expecting to be forgiven, but to at least say, I know I was wrong. I know I was wrong. Even if I was going through something, it was not okay. And I hope that we can have a better relation going forward. I will leave it at this for now.
Very level-headed. I like that.
Yep, that's why I was glad to see him come on. 'Cause he is
Wonderful.
very level-headed.
Yeah, well said.
Yeah, I agree.
And I don't even know what's been happening, so I'm just, you know.
Well, and
Me neither.
And I
I'm
don't
not
need
trying
to. I don't
put
need
it out
to
there.
be
That's
fair.
the thing. People are like, well, you're so cryptic with things and you don't say things just flat out. Because it's not for me to tell, other than just to say how my feelings are about it. And if it's anything to do with the village, I'm going to say, if it's not respectful, it's not allowed. And just before anything does happen, it's going to be said. I don't like the fact that people feel like they should leave. I don't like the fact that they should feel like they're being forced out. If it is anything that is done because somebody is hurting somebody else, then it should be able to be brought up. And if somebody is doing something, either be willing to listen and give space to that or excuse themselves. If they are not willing to give the other person their space, if they are not willing to look at and understand where somebody else is coming from, then they do not have the right to just bully or put somebody in place. That is my whole thing. I'm not trying to put out what's going on. I'm just trying to say that if we are going to be a village, if we are going to be a community in any sort of way, we should be able to know that we can go there and not be attacked. We're not a cult. We don't
No.
all have the same. We don't all have the same beliefs. That's one of the beauties about us, is we are all so different. And if we can embrace that, that's where the magic comes. But in hate, it cannot come. That's
Yeah, I
what I'm
don't
saying.
do that. I
I
don't do hate.
You know, if you feel you need to walk away, we're going to miss you. But if there's anything that we can do, let us know and we will try to work with you. But just like whenever you came to me, Amina, you told me your situation and we saw the situation that we had. We agreed that we were still going to be there for each other.
Yeah, because I'm not going to ask you to do anything for me because I'm not comfortable with the situation. That's a me problem. I don't want to make that your problem. So since that was uncomfortable for me and I'm an adult, I'm allowed to remove myself from the situation and I still respect you and will collaborate with you in any way, shape, or form as I'm doing right now.
Right.
And I think that's something we can do. I'm not going back because the situation that I shared with you is not changing. So,
Right. And
but
that is
I'm
one
still
of the
going to
things,
collaborate with you in a professional way.
and that's where the situations, not everybody knows the entire situation. And not everybody knows how certain things are. Nobody knows what's going on in somebody else's life completely. And if something doesn't change, it's not because I didn't agree with you, because 99% of everything I agree with. But I also have to respect every single person in this situation. And you weren't disrespecting them. You just said that you didn't feel comfortable. And so you came to me instead of just leaving. You came to me. And I appreciate that more than you know. And I appreciate the fact that you were not in any way disrespectful to me.
Or the others, like
Or
the
the
other
other person.
people
Yeah.
involved.
Or
Yeah.
the other
So
situation.
I will respect everyone. But like I said, I'm not going to be part of the chats. But if you need me in a setting like this, I will be there, and I will be professional,
Right.
and I will do what I do best. So I I think that we can separate like personal feelings from actually trying to help people here, because that's what we're trying to do. I don't
Exactly.
need to be your best friend to be able to help others. We can
Right.
collaborate. We don't have
And
to be best friends.
that's what it's supposed to be, is to be able to come together and lift each other up.
Exactly.
And so I really appreciate that. It's a hard thing. We're going to have growing pains, and we're going to have situations that we don't like. If we have those situations, though, if somebody comes to us and talks to us, if somebody explains this is going on, because a lot of times things happen and we don't know, we can't do anything about it if we don't know. And if somebody has a truth, how do we know? If somebody's, like, for instance, my children, when they would come to me with something, if they came to me with a lie, then I could never work with them to fix anything. And so they knew, they learned to come to me with the truth. And I didn't always like it, but I worked with them the best I could. If we don't know there's a situation, we can't do anything to fix it. We can't work through it. And I'm not going to be the person that's going to say, you can't be here because you feel this way. That's not what it's about. It's about every single person feeling comfortable the best we can.
So that's why I think it's important for you to be able to separate those things. Because if they go in a public setting, if that's their public setting, I don't know, like it's not like they're not doing it in the village. If they're doing it in the village, then but it's like the same thing that I brought to you, Misha.
Mm-hmm.
Things happened outside the village and affected like me there, and I removed myself because I don't agree with that, but that doesn't have to affect the village.
Right.
So I think that this is the case. Okay, if there's conflicts, they have to take it outside like adults.
Yeah.
And talk about it. You don't have to be the middleman there, nor the village. Like that's my opinion. Like you need to be able to like keep your peace of mind and have them solve their issues on their own. Like you can talk to them like, hey, this was not okay. Like, I don't know, talk to them, give a warning or something, but I don't know.
Just so long as it's not within. And that's it right there.
Yeah, exactly. So if as long as I'm not streaming in the village and I'm saying Jean Marie, I hate Jean Marie and she's horrible, and I don't, Jen. I don't, but just as an example.
It
So
sounds so funny coming out of your mouth.
but yeah, like you see what I'm saying? Like we don't
Hmm.
have to be hateful. Like if they like if I do that on the village, then like yeah, but if outside, like it's their channel.
Well, and that's the thing. That's what I've tried to say from the beginning, is we're going to have people that are totally opposite. But how are you going to know that you're not that way if you aren't around it some way, somehow? How are we going to know? Like, how is somebody going to know if they like tarot or not if they've never been around it? How is somebody going to know if they like Jesus if they've never been around him? You know, how are we going to know this if we aren't subjected to, if we aren't introduced to if we don't have a chance to understand.
But I think that's why we can come in the village and have some collaborations. For example, I was raised a Catholic, and I'm now I'm doing other things, right? Um, that doesn't mean we have to fight because we have different beliefs.
It's beautiful.
I think I can share my knowledge with you, you can share your knowledge with me, and then we can discuss and we can go our separate ways, having a better understanding for each other. That's the way that I handle my life. I respect every belief. Like, that doesn't mean mine is the only source of truth. There's others that are equally valuable. So I don't think, like, as long as we do like Kate D says here, like with love and respect, there shouldn't be a problem. So if you always I don't know how to say it in English, but if you're always coming from a place of love, then there shouldn't be a problem.
Right.
So I think that we should always promote love and understanding and respect and actual healthy communication.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I'm ready to start having fun with each other. I'm ready to get away from some of the yuck. And so I think that's what I want to start focusing on. And so this is not just a village thing that I come on here for. I come on here for the fact that I personally have been overwhelmed and I had to hide out, and I've lost a lot of what I was about personally in my mind because I couldn't hold on to me anymore. And I just needed people to understand that when we're in each other's faces, we're not getting our points across anyways.
Yeah.
When we are pushing things that is unnecessary drama, when we are hurting people, sorry, Tiff, when we are doing that, we are taking away from things that are really important. And that's what my biggest reason for tonight was to say that we have to be understanding in how we are putting things out there to people. We can't expect other people to be there where we are.
No.
We cannot. And
also you, Misha, like that's an advice for you. Remember the airplanes and the masks?
What is my outro? I'm working on that one big time.
Man, she's heard that so many times. Are you kidding?
But that's the thing. Like, that's why I brought it up, like with that same like analogy, because I watch you, Misha, and I watch all of these things, and I know that you've been told that many times before. You just said it yourself, but it's important for you to take care of you before everyone else. So if you're feeling drained, the best thing you can do is take space. I've asked Krumel. I've been taking space for me the last month, like 8 times. I'm quitting and leaving, and because I need time for me, and that's okay. It's like I need to take care of me and be in a better headspace and be there for me, and then I can be there for others. So I don't think you need to apologize.
I'm trying not to apologize for
You
it.
do that too much, woman.
I know, and I'm working on that because actually it's taking away the power. I'm not going to apologize for me being me anymore.
Yeah.
But I do need to be able to say that I do feel certain ways. And if I feel bad for something, I need to address it. I can't just say you can't apologize for things because it's not, I have to address how I feel. And if I feel a certain way, I should be able to come here and say it just like anybody else should. And we should be able to do that and have somewhere to do that. And that's why I want to start doing the meeting things again. That's why I want to start doing things that are actually focused forward and not looking at the drama that's going on, not looking at that, because if we give attention to it, we're just feeding into it.
Well, and that's why I wanted to speak on or something that you said earlier, Misha, real quick, if I could, because I know, and I can only speak for me. Because I don't know if anybody else did it like I did. I left the village chat twice, and it was both times for the same reason. And the reason I didn't first of all, the reason I didn't run to you is because I know you well enough that we're friends on our own. I know you well enough that I'm not dragging this stuff over to you when we're trying to get through the holidays just to breathe, And I just feel like if I'm feeling a certain type of way, like I'm being ignored in the chat by most people, and I know that there are people in the group that have animosity towards me for maybe being too flaky at times and missing things and whatever, because I'm a human being and that happens. but I don't feel like I need to like announce my exit. I just feel like I can bow out quietly and not make a big deal out of it and make it all about me, because that village is not about me. It's not about any one of us. Like, Tiff said that like Matrix, like Todd is getting a ton out of that
Yeah.
village chat right now, and to take that away from him, I feel would be detrimental to his physical and mental and emotional health, you know.
I didn't know he was there, so I take back everything that I said about the chats, because
I
he's there
agree.
and I know how he's dealing with things right now. I'm in contact with him every single day. So, well, not every single day, but as much as I can. So yeah, I think if this is his support system, let's keep it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause he hits it up all times of the day.
Is
And
that our Tiff right there in those
It's
beautiful flags?
me.
it
That I
is.
the same exact pair of those things?
It's
Yes, she is.
me.
Oh my God, you should watch her. She's got some cool stuff going on. I'm telling y'all.
It's Valentine's Day.
Well, you look like a Valentine.
I thought I would do a show, and then, which I may still, I'll be up late, but you know.
Well, you can
But
always.
so now I'm here hanging with you
stream.
guys.
You can always stream right now too. You guys can stream to this. You guys can put this on your channels.
Oh yeah, no, it's okay. We're good.
It's
That's
fine.
the thing.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that we need to be introduced to each other more.
Yes, we do.
Because I
And
was
the
shocked
thing-
whenever I went over to your channel and saw that you don't have nearly the subscribers that you need to have. You deserve so many more subscribers.
me,
because
I told you I don't try to boost.
And by the way, you're mentioning
Yeah.
Todd. Can you send prayers to him? His
Yes.
and
Yeah.
thoughts, good vibes, healing vibes,
Yeah. All of that.
whichever your belief is. He needs everything right now.
Very,
You
very
know,
much
you
so.
know what I say? I say prayers, good vibes, good juju, the voodoo that you do. That's not what
That's
I like
awesome.
it's just the kind of send
That needs to be a
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you do. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And Jimena, I wanted to say when we were in the chat and I said, would anybody be willing to stream just to the village? And really what I was just thinking was, like you said, just here and there, like I'm not saying like give up any real amounts of time. And I know people are busy, right? So I'm not saying like give up, and I'm not even saying you necessarily. I guess I'm just saying in general, and I don't know how Misha feels about it. Although I think we've touched base on it, but a little bit ago. But just like maybe bringing more attention to the village for a moment. And I think also it might bring attention, having people coming to one spot, it might bring attention to more of the channels.
Yeah, but I think that we should do the collaborations on the village, and like when we're collaborating.
Yeah.
But I don't think that maybe me streaming my tarot content on the village is going to be helping the community like that. Like I think we need to do more strategically, like
Sure.
more
I think that
so we can do this as the community we want to be. Like that's my idea. Like it's not just my 2 cents. Take it like you can.
no, yeah, I want to know. Yeah.
But I think the strategy would work better if we do this as a collaboration. Like I'm maybe collaborating with you, Tiff, and we are doing something to help people and bringing people together from your channel, my channel. We do this,
Yes.
and then we bring the communities together, rather than me just going to my content and no one's going to be on the village because I'm going to be streaming with my
and it's
community,
hard.
and they're going to be watching me, not
Right.
from the
In the
village. So I
chat,
think
it confuses people. It confuses people having 2 different chats. I wish that
exactly.
people would work
And then
better.
I'm
well,
showing
I
them-
agree. And that's
and people say I'm blocked, or why am I not able to see this person who is
Yes.
like. So in my opinion, it should be okay. We're going to do game night. This is an example.
Yes,
We're
perfect.
gonna do game night in the village. We can stream it in our channels, but it's a village event.
Right. Yes. That's
So
it.
it's different
So
than
is that
me just going. reading tarot cards to people.
Right. No, okay. I understand what you're saying.
Jen, that was Misha not paying attention. I'm sorry, love.
Why
That's
are
fine.
you
That's
leaving
why I
and
put it
I'm
in the
like, what
chat.
happened? We moved.
why are you disconnecting and coming back? And
Because I'm an idiot.
Would you stop saying stuff like that?
Because I at this time I don't know, because I keep accidentally hitting something and it just takes me out.
Yeah, I'm bad about stuff like that too. That's why I don't touch anything whenever I'm doing it. It's like, don't touch it because you're gonna go out. The chats, that is a really big factor when it comes to all of us.
Yes, I know it is.
Especially when it was live streaming, I couldn't focus on that at all because it was so chaotic on my end. But I hated it because people were feeling ignored. And it wasn't that, it was just you didn't see.
Right.
You don't see, if you're in one chat, the other chat does not see it on the other channel.
Right.
And so what
That
I
happened
really,
over Christmas.
yeah. And what I would like to do is, like, if somebody wants to do it, because you're not going to get your watch hours, and I don't want to take anybody's watch hours away, but it's kind of like once a week or once every 2 weeks or once ever how often, do that one for the village and stream in just the village. And that will get your channel to be shown to more people in the village.
Well, and
but that's just one instead of doing it all the time. And
right. And that's what I was kind of thinking would maybe start bringing a little traffic to the village. If that's what you guys want to do, I don't know. I mean, I know that my other keeper, she's always throwing her things in the village. And I don't know if Echo throws her stuff in the village also, I think.
Well, and that's the thing, it got thrown out there. It actually, the village came to play a lot different than what I had anticipated.
Yeah.
And so I was not prepared at all. And it just kind of timing, it was, I guess, now or never kind of thing. And it worked out the way that it worked out. Although it made us look like we were not, it made us look
organized.
Because we weren't.
Nope.
And I'm still not over everything that I allowed myself to go through during that time.
Well, I thought we were just doing Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, and then regrouping to build it.
Yes, and that's what we were going to do. And then I could not come back to regroup.
That's what happened.
So that's
okay.
what I'm trying to do.
Because I wasn't hearing from you, and you wanted me to help you build it.
Yeah, Misha fell apart.
Oh. And I'm really bad at following up. I should have reached out to you. I should have known that that's what was happening.
To be honest, people reached out to me and I've not been able to get back to them because I've been that behind.
Yeah, people aren't me.
I know, but
I'm just teasing.
That's part of it though, is I cannot get up with my notifications. And so I feel like people are thinking that I'm ignoring them. But personally, I have so many that come through. It's insane. And with this ADHD brain, I cannot keep crap together like I used to before. Once upon a time I could. Now I am in overwhelm. And so I'm trying to reach out and say, I need help. This is what I would like to do. If you guys want to, let's do this. This isn't saying I want to do this all on my own. It's not saying I want this for me, because it's not. It is partially for me because I need a village. But I think that a lot of us need villages. I think a lot of us could benefit from that. And so if we can do something and come up with ideas and bounce it off each other and work together towards something, then I think it would benefit every single one of us. There's people that don't have money, but they have a lot of time. There's people like Rolling Stone right here said, I'm not right in the head. I'm not either. Can't focus. Neither can I. Keep a schedule. Me either. But loving
that's why I'm
she
saying,
can do that.
Let's collaborate. Like, the village doesn't have to necessarily be a channel. Like,
That's never what I wanted it to be.
We can do a group and then get together there, have the schedules, have everything, do collaborations in the village channel, but to get together. But I think the connection is what is important. I don't know. Like, we have to figure out the best way to do that. I don't necessarily think we need to all go stream through the village.
No, I'm not saying that either.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm saying.
And it's
I'm saying if anybody would want to, like, obviously, I don't care. I mean, even if I had a thought, I mean, Misha knows I'm never going to monetize my channel. I'm not interested in that. So I support anybody else that does. I'll run live streams. I'll help you build your hours. You know what I mean? I have no problem doing any of that stuff. So for me, I don't mind going to the village a certain day a week, or, you know, to do just a show or a talk or whatever the case may be.
But why don't we do events like we did on Thanksgiving and when
Right.
like
Well,
we did?
that's Body
Well,
Illusion is
yeah.
going to be an integral part of the games. And so we're waiting for her to get a little bit better. We were going to start implementing games every single Friday night.
If more people posted there, it would be over posting.
Well, because Kim, it looks like it's just Kim that's posting, because we're not posting over there. And so it looks like she's over posting, but she's not over posting. She's
No.
doing what she is sharing, what she wants to share.
Right. So
I still think that it's hurting your views though, if you post all the time in there. And so it's not beneficial to your channel as much as it could be.
I'm not,
You know, it's
okay.
Can
I tell you guys a little about me? Just
Mhm.
real quick, because I know you guys know each other fairly well, but nobody really knows me very well, but you, Misha. And
that's what we need to do.
If that's okay with you guys,
Please,
if
yes.
anybody cares.
Of course.
You know, I've been running my group for 7 years, and it is an autoimmune support group, and it's a video chat. Okay, every day. And it comes with a lot of makeups, a lot of breakups. You fall in love with people. You fall out of love with people. But I've been doing all of that for free. So I don't mind about my little bit of views. I understand other people do, and I totally support that. And I don't know, I guess, here's a question I have. Where is the village? Is the village only just like, is this the idea? Is the village only collaborating for like the holidays? And then that's really it?
My
And then
goals-
there's no chat. So there's no talking there. So is it just a Facebook group? Where is the village, or how does it
right
work?
now, all over the place and nowhere.
But I think that's where we need to start, Misha. We need to start putting in paper what the village actually is and where does it live, and then we can strategize how we're going to be working with the village, because we're trying to do this backwards. So that's why it feels like it is a mess.
Yeah,
Not that,
it is.
yeah, but it's like, even if it is, like we can actually structure this.
Yeah.
And you can use people who have experience doing this, like Tiff, like me, like Jen, maybe, like things that we already, I'm not maybe experienced in building a community like Tiff is, but I worked in a marketing agency and I know how this works, and I am a project manager, so I know how to structure things. So
maybe we could work together
we could
a
work
little.
together. So like, I
Well,
think
I'm
we all have
screaming.
an expertise that we can use, and we can get together and come up with a solid plan on how the village can take a shape. That's my 2 cents. Again, like Chief says, she has been working on this for 7 years, so she knows like the ups and downs and all of these. So we can actually put something really cool together, and without having to give all the burden to you, Misha, because that's also overwhelming. You're not in the headspace right now to do that, which is
Exactly.
okay. So
Yes.
you have the idea, and then you can say, no, I don't like this. We can come up with ideas together. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you don't have to do this alone.
No.
And that's what I've been asking, and that's what I've been trying to do, but I just don't know how. And so that's another reason for this video tonight. There's multiple reasons for this tonight, because I really, truly have not been where I wanted to be or where I've needed to be. And every time I try to come back up out of it a little bit, I'm overwhelmed immediately. Part of that is because there's so many of us that are hurting. That is not anybody's fault. Nobody chooses to hurt. Nobody. I am the one that cannot handle where I'm at and everybody's emotions right now, like I need to, or like I want to. Not like I need to, like I want to, because I want to be there. I know how it feels to hurt. And that is an issue that I have personally with me. Nobody else, it's nobody's fault. But I need help on how to be able to get from there to not let the village down. And I'm not saying that I am, I don't want to be the be all end all. I just want to create something that is a village for all of us. And what you guys are saying about collaborating together, that's what I envision. That's what I see. I've got this website. I just have to be able to get it up and running. And once we have that, then we're going to be able to do so much, y'all. I'm asking for help.
What's missing for your website?
Right now, a lot. I've got to actually have time to be able to get to it. Right now, it is the bare bones. It is strictly bare bones.
Yeah, but what is missing? Is it like, how's the setup?
It has 100 subdomains. I need to just send you the actual everything that it has on it. So that
I know websites, so that if you need help, let me know, and I can help you.
See, that's what I'm saying. If we can find ways to come together and to ask and to offer, that's.
So I'm on IT, so anything related to technology or most of it, I can help. Not coding, because I'm not a developer anymore. So
I'm working on that. I'm actually a Google developer now.
That's so good to know.
Like now, you don't need to be a developer to create a website. So just know that unless it's not something really fancy, like an e-commerce or something, and even so, you don't need to be a developer. But
well, and that's the goal for the website as well, is to be able to do it to where that not everybody, because once we get bigger, we're not going to have enough subdomains, and it's only paid for a year. But the OGs, those of us that are there now, can each have our own subdomain within that, but it will be under the village. It's going to be, it's going to be that, but it's going to be a central hub for people to come together. It's when somebody's going live, it's going to be embedded to where that people will see it's live.
How would it work if you, like, for example, me, I already have my website.
You can link to it and you can have that added to it however you want to do it, because you guys will be in control of it. I've just got to look at the other end of it too, because once it's paid for a year, well, that was paid for in November. And so once that comes up, I've got to look at the logistics of that and see how much it's going to cost, because it can either come out of, if the village does start making money, that's where it's going to go first, is to that. I can't obviously afford to pay for it. And so we've got to be able to look at it and come at it from there. And that's the reason I've not gone too far into it, because I don't want it to be something that's going to be, okay, well, we've got this great thing going, but then it stops November of this year.
Yeah, but I think the only way the village is going to make money is to get monetized.
Not necessarily.
Well, yeah, there's going to be merch. There's going to be there's different things that we can do.
Not necessarily. You can start making money with other things, products and all, like product.
Oh yeah,
like that.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
But it's not. That was one of the things that I was worried about, because I didn't want the village to make money, because I didn't want there to be the argument about who gets the money. I don't want it to ever have any kind of taboo like that over it.
No, but it's like it's monetized, and the money that it's for the village and like itself, like to
pay for
StreamYard, to pay for like the website, pay for the merch that you're putting together, like all of that.
Help new
and
creators.
If there's money there, then you choose your favorite charity and you send it that way. Like we don't have to take the money for ourselves. Like I don't need the money of the village. Like if I'm part of the village, if you can help people, please be my guest and go and send it to a charity of victims of narcissistic abuse or domestic violence or SA or whatever. Like I don't want the money. That's why I want to have my channel monetized. It's not for me. If I ever make my channel and it's monetized, I'm going to be giving the money to people who suffer domestic violence in my country. It's not for me.
Well,
so
each
we could do the same for the village.
Money for their channels, however they want to spend it, they should be able to.
Yeah, but
I think so too.
Because there's a misconception right now because of everything that has happened over the last few years. There's a misconception, and channels should be
now.
If the village, you can set it up in a way that everything that it's going to the village, it's going to actually go to help people.
Right. So what if we have what if we
domestic
make a
violence.
list? What if we make a list of the people that are involved in the village
Mhm.
and their favorite charities? And then if there's ever money made out of it, then every month someone's charity gets the money.
We
Right,
could do
and
a game night to pick up who's the winner of the
Yes,
charity that's going to take the money. Like,
that is
yeah.
a fantastic idea.
That's a good idea.
This
So-
is what I'm
Mhm.
talking about. This is what is needed for the village. Is this right here, a round table of people coming together and saying what they envision and what they think we can do, and that's, you know,
yeah,
what
so
I
like,
thought. Getting the channels, because if a channel is part of the village, then it's going to help the channel to start becoming monetized on its own, and they can do their thing. But then the village, anything that does come in, we can start doing for the small creators, get their setups. We can start doing things to get them to where that they are on a better footing themselves.
Yeah.
And we can train people how to do their channels. We can train people how to do the moderations. We can train people to how to utilize moderators without abusing the moderators.
Uh-huh.
You know, we can teach people that want to
Yeah.
become somebody that's involved in the chat. We can show them how to do it that's going to help every channel. Show people, because a lot of us didn't know what we were doing to begin with. We
No.
still don't necessarily know what we're doing. But if we bring what we've learned to the table, then instead of having one person's knowledge, we've got everybody's knowledge coming together, and it's going to be so much easier to do the things that we want to do. It's going to make it so much easier for us to do the fight for the things that we're fighting for, and to be heard, and to get the voices out there.
Yes.
It should not be it should
No.
not be the negative. It's going to come with negatives, but it shouldn't be any more negative than it's going to be. We're going to do what we can to work together.
and also transparency. If
Yes.
we are transparent in how much we earn, where did we spend it, we sent it to this was for StreamYard, this was for this, for that. People doesn't have to complain. I think the problem with all of these issues that we've encountered is that we don't know where the money went, and we donated a lot of money.
Right.
So
And
at least I did. So
Very, very
still
important.
burns my butt. But sorry.
I'm
Yeah.
also very upset right now.
A lot of us are very upset about that. And we have to do our part to not let that happen again.
Yeah,
But
no.
we can't do anything about other people. We can only do what we do.
But
for ourselves.
transparency is important. So if you're
It's-
transparent with what you're doing, like, you don't have to be afraid of anything. Like, if they complain, people are going to complain about everything. Like, there's always going to be someone who's going to
Yes.
complain.
Yep.
So
And there's going to
do
be enemies
you.
of the village already because of everything that has happened. We just don't have to feed into that. And Mandy, we
what's up?
all need help fighting battles. There are too
Mhm.
many. We just have to be able to come at it strategically and
Yes.
respectfully and lovingly.
Yes.
And then we will be able to fight our battles the way that we need to fight them.
And
That is
you
the
know-
thing. And that's
Sorry.
what we're going to learn from each other. If we do this the way that we're doing tonight, if we continue to work that way, then we're going to show how to come from being broken. We're going to become the kintsugi. We're going to show how we can grow, how we can come from the depths of hell and find our way together.
Well, you
And
know,
to show that it's not all like that negative that we've been through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anyone stopping us, right?
Right.
I mean, Jimena, you've been running a beautiful show now. I love it. I love your energy. I love every day. Or,
No.
the days you can make it. And that's the thing.
She's so early for me. It's hard for me to get this.
I know. I
trying
miss
to
her too.
sleep her.
But I listened to her later.
Yes.
Because I believe a lot of what
I'm sorry. That's the only
No,
time that I
don't be
can do
sorry.
it
That's
with
the
my.
thing. We are all from other times, other places. I mean,
I'm
look at-
always excited if I get to catch you
Yes.
live.
I'm gonna be trying to do some Friday streams in the afternoon, or maybe Saturdays. I don't know. Saturdays are difficult, but I'm trying to do other schedules, or maybe at night. Today
But
was
you know what you
random
need
that
to
I
do?
was able to join here because my kids are already asleep.
Nice.
So
You need to do what is right for you.
And that is the thing, and that's something I've really noticed in this community, in all honesty. Because like I said before, a lot of you guys know each other pretty well, and I'm coming in a little bit different, is that everybody really that is sticking around, okay?
Mhm.
And I don't know all the ins and outs of all of the stuff, but
Either.
but people can be very gracious with
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah.
You know, just like Todd, freaking for the past, what, 2 weeks?
It's been a nightmare.
Todd
Yes.
has been like my poor friend has been like struggling since October or September or something like that. It's been hell for him.
And, but just since he's been reaching out in the chat, you know, since, you know, and there are people there to love him.
Yeah.
Like that. And that's the kind of community that I'm coming from. And that's what I'm bringing to the table. That doesn't mean I'm the one that's there every second, but that's what I'm about.
And that's what is important, is to be finding ways to do things and to work around our obstacles
and help each other
and grow and learn from that and know that it's not just one of us, it's all of us, but every single one of us matter. And when somebody does, like when Jen, when you were popping in and out of this live stream, I was like, get your butt back here. You don't get to do that no more.
I just kept, you know what it is? I go into the chat. No, I go into the chat, and then I hit the back button instead of hitting the X, and it kept knocking me out.
I've got that on my mouse, and so yeah, I catch myself doing that a lot.
That's why I'm on my computer, because if I do that from my phone,
yeah, phones, forget about it. Forget about it. Phones. I'm so claustrophobic on my phone.
Forget about it. But something else, I think, and I don't know if it's possible because, you know, I know you guys have been through different things. I don't know what they are. But one thing, you know, I've had the same 2 admin for this whole time, for this whole 7 years. We have managed to stay together. And it's been a miracle sometimes because we have not liked each other, right? But we've tried to stay fluid and try to make the decisions that are best for the people. And sometimes when we don't all agree, we'll take a vote. You know, there's 3 of us. So it's just it can be tough in a community where everybody wants to run the show.
Yes.
And
it also can be tough, and I've struggled personally with this, and I'm going to admit this. I still have a thing about the village because of what happened with me in a previous experience with something that was the village that was taken. And so I still have problems with that personally because I don't want to see it go places that I don't want it to go. And I struggle with that. And that's something that I'm trying to acknowledge and I'm trying to work around.
You know, sometimes, yeah, and you can't, there are times where you can't be everybody's friend, unfortunately. You know, there have been times where I've had to remove people from my group. You know, there have been people that we've been friends for 3 years and they've become inappropriate or whatever, and you got to go because I'm not dealing with that. You know, it's not a hookup.
Well, and I have been putting my time, I've mismanaged my time, and that's something that I'm working on, because whenever I'm needed, I'm not able to be there because I put time here and here and here. And so I think that we each have things that we need to work on, and that's where coming together as a village, we can do so again, even better, because we're understanding, we're showing, we're explaining, we're learning through experience. And we're finding ways to hack this thing called life. And I'll be damned, I'm not going to stay where I was. I don't like it, and I stayed there for far too long, and I'm trying to come up out of it. We have a village. We can do this now, and I don't have to feel so bad about not being as present, because I know that there are so many people together, coming together with big hearts. And that is an amazing feeling. But we also have responsibilities that I have put myself out there for, and I have to keep myself accountable for. And that's where I'm just trying to I'm trying to find ways to be able to come and ask for you guys to help me and how I can help. I have a problem with that. I have a problem asking for help.
Do you now?
You hush it.
Because I do too.
I know. Maybe we can learn together how to do that. You know, it's necessary. And to be able to show an example to other people that communities can come together, even though they've been through shit, even though they've went through so much yuck, it doesn't have to be that way.
Sorry, I think College has a comment.
Yes.
College is always so quiet.
Yeah, but I think he's very respectful of us. He
Mhm.
doesn't want to interrupt.
That is true. I don't think that it is very nice to just kind of blurt out what I want to say. So I did kind of try to wait for a lull in the conversation, but
You've got four
Not
women.
going to happen.
Even just
But
me and
I-
you talking, you have to interrupt me.
Mhm. But I thought better to send that message instead. I know that several minutes ago, we were talking about the monetization of the village and how we can make that be fair. Um, I think we have to consider the fact that I have currently uh, uploaded 0 videos or um, streamed 0 times with it. So I think it's only fair for me to get 100% of the money made from that. And I would surely we all agree that this is fair. Any thoughts on the subject?
You're hilarious. You're so
I couldn't
funny.
resist. I had to do that.
Oh, that's so great.
You guys.
If I could maybe be a little bit more, I guess, serious or more meaningful commentary, I really like the idea of having that sort of game night to try to figure out what charity we could give that money to, because that definitely ensures the fact that it will be for a good cause.
Yeah.
And we have fun doing so. So it's not necessarily like, oh well, I didn't get a turn, or no fair, you've gone twice. It's a game night, all in good sport, and that ensures that there would be more money made for the next time that there would be a donation to be given. So I am very supportive of the idea of the game night for the charities. And
And
if
it would be
anything
nice.
else come,
I'm doing that. Sorry, miss. Ignore that.
oh no, you're fine. If anything else comes to mind, I'll make sure to speak up about it.
Please do, because I think you bring really good insight.
I muted myself.
Mhm.
It would be good for us to have a regular something, like some sort of thing that everybody knows. Like with Kim, everybody knows that on Tuesday nights at 6:00, on Thursday nights at 6:00, there's going to be something there. If we did village game nights every Friday night,
Mhm.
then like we can do it to where this channel that wants to be involved can have it on their channel, or they can have it live streamed to their channel, but on the village from their channel. Rephrase that. I'm getting tired, y'all.
That's
But anyways,
why
to where that it'll get introduced, people get introduced to their channel, and it will be something that people can know to look forward to, and it's not going to be all the weight put on one channel.
Misha, that's why I almost think like people just streaming or like us just doing it. Because like say all 5 of us played, right? We
Mhm.
did game night. And so then we're gonna all 5 stream to our own channels plus the village.
Yeah, no,
No, I don't.
that's too
think
much.
Right? So I think, and then like you said earlier, where the chats get lost. Like
Mhm.
maybe
What in the
it
world?
No, we should be doing that directly in the village.
Yeah.
We
Right.
could promote it on our channels. Like, I'm going to be in the village
Yes.
doing a game night for charity or something. But I wouldn't split the audience because we
And
need
thank
the
you for that.
audience
Yeah.
in the village. So,
Right.
but
It would
I
be
do think that for the rest, streams, unless you want to, like, I don't think it's a good idea to multi-stream.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Because then it takes and like you said, I think it's great, you know, if you're on your channel and say, "Hey, I'm going to be on the village this day and this time. Come see me," right?
Mhm.
And then maybe we'll start getting some traffic into the village.
Exactly. Instead of negating it, because what it's doing right now, it is negating it. It is
Right.
confusing
Nobody's
people to
showing
come
up.
to it. Yeah, and it's off-putting because I just tell you, just from whenever the live streams were going, and just me, whenever I could remember to go to the village to say, "Hey guys, we're on this channel for the chat," that was stressing for me. I could only imagine being somebody that was trying to support the village and all the channels, going from here to here to here to here to here.
It happened to me. I was
Yeah.
not able to go to Jen's channel because I didn't have the URL. I couldn't find it in my subscriptions because I didn't remember which was the channel. And I was on the village, but everyone was talking on her channel.
In the
So I
chat.
was left
Yeah.
left alone on the village.
Aw.
And it hurt
Aw,
because
It
nobody's
was
talking to you.
horrible. And I
I
was
had no
telling you,
idea.
It's like
no,
you're
and
in
can
timeout.
someone tell me what's the channel?
Yes, you guys, whenever they first started doing the multi-streaming, it was on the big channel that I was a part of, and mod of. I was modding there, and also in Surviving Together. And also it was streamed, it was like 3 different channels altogether, and I was a mod in every single one of them. And I didn't know that we were multi-streaming. I didn't even know what the heck that was yet. All I knew was people were talking, and I'm like, "So and so's here. Where are they?" Because I was so excited that they were here. "Where are they?" And I couldn't find them. Instead, I'd have to go, and I hunted every. It was ridiculous, and I felt like I'd ran a marathon.
Yeah.
It is not viable the way
No,
that it
but
is.
I think it's when you collaborate. For example, if I said, okay, I'm going to be collaborating with Jen Marie in my channel or in her channel,
Hmm.
I'm not going to be multi-streaming. I'm going to go to her channel because she's inviting me to her channel. And I'm going to promote it with my audience to her channel.
Yes.
That will help Jen Marie.
And then vice versa.
And then vice versa. So the same thing with the village. We are going to do our thing, separate things. And then whenever we're going to go to game night or whichever event we're planning, we get together and we promote it in our channels and we bring all our audiences to the village.
Yes.
And I think that's better than multi-streaming, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Oh,
And
100%.
I also think that I've decided during this stream that I'm actually going to expand the arc of my channel because I don't really feel like it has to be 100% anti-TTI. I really think that I can focus on trauma and healing as well as just focusing on the negative, and I can still expose the industry and the bad people like Dr. Phil and stuff, but like I could also give people positive, and like that's why the collabing with Jimena I think is going to be really good to help find ways to heal through the trauma, you know, focus on some solutions and not just the problems.
Actually, I have a series right now that is called Journeys to Light. I'm going to be reaching out to all of you, I think, probably at some point,
Okay.
because I've noticed that every trauma channel, we always dwell on the trauma, and
Mhm.
I get out more depressed than I was before joining the stream.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
So
Yeah.
the Journeys to Light for me is like not negating the trauma. We will honor the trauma, but it's more about how you came out of it and how, like, what strategies you use, how was your journey, the things that moved you to light, to the
Mhm.
light, to the actually going out of the trauma and how you were dealing with it and incorporating it in your life. And it's been very helpful for people. I've done 4 episodes now, and people are enjoying it very much, and they've learned things. So maybe we can do that. I'm trying to do that. Like, the focus of my channel is always bringing things to light, not being always in the darkness and the
Right.
sadness. You know.
I like
So
that.
I'm trying to do that because my approach to trauma is to honor the dark while, yeah,
Yes.
like showing the light, right? Because I think we can shine through the like in the dark. So that's what I'm trying to do. I invited Living My Best Life at 60. I haven't been able to connect with her because I've been doing like my life has been falling apart lately. So not very
Yeah, I know.
yeah. But yeah, so all of these. So I wanted to invite Jen, maybe like Echo. She already said yes. So Misha, whichever who wants to collaborate. I'm trying to invite also men. If there's men
Yeah.
there who want to be there, I've had one already. I'm gonna have John also to be. He's going to be there. Hockey Town John.
I
And
miss
so
John.
whoever wants to like has a story who wants to share that, it's like I think we can learn from each other's stories.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
those, so I think if we focus on all of those things, and each one of us has a different approach to healing, so we can all come together and actually create something beautiful. So that's my approach. So that's why I haven't left the village. I left the chats, not the village. So
And we do what we can, where we can, when we can. And
And
we've
I
got a village to hold each other
Well,
up.
hey, everybody doesn't have to be in the sewing circle, okay?
No, they dang sure don't. Please don't. Please don't, because I won't be there. You know,
knitting.
we don't have to be in every.
I don't fit well in the sewing circle, so I'm not there.
We'd never conform, baby.
Yeah,
Never,
I'm not like
never.
a
Punk rock for life, baby.
And
that's
I want to
what's
say,
that?
Echo, girl, it's good to see you.
Well, I'm gonna have to go because it's very
Yeah,
late, and my daughter's gonna be awake in like a few hours. So,
I know those
oh.
staying up and then waking up with the kiddos nights. Ooh wee.
Well, like she's when it's school day, she doesn't wake up early. But if it's weekend,
knitting
like
circle.
5:30 a.m. Mom, I want to do something. So I'm hungry. I want to go to the bathroom.
Enjoy it though.
She's
Enjoy it.
still
I
so
do.
little. I know you have to. Mine's
She's 5.
27.
My youngest is 27.
Yeah.
My
Um,
son
And
is
then I got my
like it's almost
grandbabies.
15.
Carry on with lesbian
Oh,
knitting
yeah.
circle.
Enjoy them.
I
That's
know
what I
I
like
am
to let
enjoying
people
it, but
join.
yeah, I want to sleep.
I know it's exhausting and all of those things too.
Especially because I have insomnia, so I'm not able to sleep until I don't know 5 in the morning, and then
Yeah,
she's awake like 1 hour later. So
that's the worst.
Well, I think
yeah,
a
I'm
lot of
gonna
people are ready
sleep.
to go night night. So I want to say goodnight to everybody that's leaving before they just leave. I don't want to not say goodnight to them. So you guys, thanks for coming and hanging with us. Y'all have been troopers because it's been 3 hours. Y'all
All right.
fought.
yeah.
You guys,
Janet wants to be knitting with you guys.
yeah. And I really think that we can do this. I really do. I have felt from the beginning that this is going to be something amazing. And it's because of all the amazing people in here. And if we can just remember that and remember what we're doing, what we're fighting for, if something negative comes about, just get rid of it. Just walk away from it. You don't
Yes,
have to look at it. You don't have to continue on with it. Let's keep moving forward. And like the
yes,
trauma, like you were saying about that, Jimena, we've all had our trauma. We need to learn ways to get the hell out of it because we're just doing that repetitive circle of staying there because we don't necessarily all know how to get out. Let's try to work on that.
And that's why, like, I think, and I got this from my grandparents, and I think if you see my first episode of The Journeys to Light, you'll understand why. Like, they had a horrible life in terms of things that happened to them, but the way they dealt with life was so inspiring to me that I've suffered a lot of trauma and abuse in my life, but I've been able to get out of it, and the approach that I take is a positive one because I don't stay in the trauma. So, and I think that sometimes these groups are very helpful for us to talk, but they also keep us in the trauma.
Yes.
So we need to be able to find tools to get us out of that. So that's what I'm trying to do in my channel, to give you tools in my hippy dippy ways, because that's the only way that I
I
know.
love it.
But that's
I'm a
the way
little
that I
hippy
know.
dippy.
But it's like grounding tools, create like things that are useful for me that other people won't be finding it useful. But some people pray, some people go to church, some people we can get together and do stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to do. So
I
hopefully,
think
yeah.
I think that's the name of the game. Is what you said is coming to the light. We need to just remember that. We have all overcome or are working through trauma, right? And we have to remember we've survived 100% of our worst days.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think,
And we decide where we're going.
yeah, I think so. And that doesn't mean you can't have a bad day, right? Like I get on my thing and I'm like, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about, but here I am. Hi, guys. It's ridiculous. But sometimes that needs to happen too because other people are feeling that way too.
Exactly.
But those
But
are
that's
the
not the,
days
yeah.
that remind you of the good days. And when
Yep.
you're in the good days, you're enjoying them more because you've had the dark days. So I think it's a balance of dark and light, like the yin yang. So
It
that's,
is.
yeah. So yeah. But thank you. It seems like I'm promoting my channel. I was not. I was just trying to say that.
No, I did
I
because it's
Yeah.
necessary. It deserves it.
Yeah.
So I want to say that Jen, if she does that, we can collaborate. And whoever wants to go, please, I need people going to share their stories because your stories are amazing and
No,
inspiring.
I'm ready. Actually, this has really motivated me to get back on my channel. Everything kind of
Thank
soured me for not just this stuff, but you guys know that I was a part of the SPTV LA protester thing, and I got dragged really bad, and that burned me out of being on YouTube as well. But I really talking to Jimena and listening and talking to all of you and thinking and talking and chatting in the chat with people has made me realize it's time now. It's been over a year, and it's time for me to just stop focusing on just the negative and start engaging in ways of working through the trauma and being and finding the positive in the strength that comes with being a survivor,
Yep.
Yes, honey.
because I need that in my own life. So if I'm focusing on my journey through awakening into my knowledge of having been a TTI survivor, why can't I also share my journey of healing and moving beyond it? Obviously I can't leave it behind me. None of us can leave it behind us, but we just learn to incorporate coping mechanisms that are positive and healthy. And I would just rather do that for a while too. I can still do my activist shows, but I think that if I did one activist show a week and then one healing show a week, and then if I collabing with Mena and anybody else that wants to do that where it makes sense for me, I'm so down for that. And I really do love the Friday game nights. I think that Jimena, that was a really, really fantastic idea, and I'd love it on the village.
I think that we've got a good thing going.
Something
Yep.
else I wanted to remind you guys of too is that we're in a different space now.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not over there. Right?
Excellent point.
We're here.
Mm-hmm.
And over here, you just be you. And the whole idea is trying to help each other and lift each other up. And I'm pretty protective.
Mm-hmm. Same.
So I always say that likes attract likes, and so if you're vibrating low, you're going to be surrounded by negativity. So if you're surrounded by toxicity, negativity, depression, you're going to be like you're going to stay there. So we need to lift each other up. That's why I always try to bring positive content. It's not about toxic positivity. It's about changing our mindset to the blessings that we have in our lives, the gratitude that we find in our life. So that's what I'm trying to bring into my life, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. Really, like with my depression and anxiety and all of these, the months that I've had like lately have been very tough. And if I didn't have these practices in my life, I wouldn't be here. And you guys in the community and all of this. So I think that's what we need to focus on instead of dwelling on, like this is happening and this is happening. And like, all the time feeding the negativity, that's not going to take us anywhere. So
Let's
Yeah.
work on just sharing the light and not letting anybody else's light be dampened.
Right.
exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Lift each other's up, I think.
Yeah.
Also, if you're able to go to Theresa's channel, she also has a lot of techniques, breathing
She is
techniques,
incredible.
meditations techniques. She's awesome.
And also, anybody that would like it, if you don't know how to get a hold of me, let me know on here or something, comment something, because there are, like, I have a channel list of everybody that I can think of is on that channel. If they're not, people need to add to it for me. And that way we can all have a channel list. We've got the mod list that we have because Mandy was amazing and made, and Indigo has worked on, and all of us coming together with that. We have ways that you can just look at that sheet and have that sheet up if you're a mod, and you can put people's links in. You can do different things. If something comes up, you have that answer right there that you can just click it, copy, paste, and put it on. And that is something that we can all use, every single one of us. And so
Yeah.
I have a lot of that. There's resources there. Just get a hold of me and I will get it to you. If you don't know how to get a hold of me, I'm pretty easy to find. Just say a message on here. I'm not good at my messages. So reach out some way to somebody.
Well, that would be nice because then you can just feed it into StreamYard. Right? And then just pop.
I have that for my channel.
Like then
actually.
I could pop up Jimenez's channel, which I've popped your channel up before, I think.
Like on iBot or the StreamBot?
StreamYard.
In StreamYard, you have a place where you can just put banners there or like things that you can put there.
Okay.
I also have I have mine in Google Docs, so I have my like what to send as a response if someone says something, like support lines of support, if they need like suicide line and all of that. Like I have that, channels that I recommend. I have them there. So, but I don't have. I just have crew mail, but I haven't shared that with him because I don't want to bother him with that. But he always manages to, like, he's my mod. He always manages to put the links there. But if not, I'm using Nightbot. I know some people don't like it. I copied this from Echo.
Yeah.
It's the best tool ever because then it releases the pressure of the mods of having to find the channels or the specific, like the repetitive
I love her
messages there.
Nightbot.
I love Nightbot.
Does the weather? I'm always checking my weather. I love it. It's fun.
I'm learning that, and that's where, you know, I think it'll help a lot of people too, because the mods, man, it's too much work sometimes and it's overwhelming. And we don't always ask. Like, I'm bad about just making somebody a mod, and I plan on eventually changing that to where that everybody will be taken down for a little bit until somebody says they want to be, kind of thing, because we expect too much sometimes of our mods and don't give enough gratitude for the hard work that everybody does. And if we can make it easier for people,
they are wonderful.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I don't even expect them to be there if they can't be there. Like, that's why I put Nightbot if they can enjoy. And since I have only 15 people in my chat normally, like that's the top that I have. So it's very easy to handle my channel. Like, it's a very small channel. But when you're in a 20K channel, that's crazy. I was modding for a 20K one and with no slow motion chat thing. It was a nightmare.
Yeah.
I did it for somebody who's got over 100,000, and that was amazing.
Oh my God!
No, thank you. No, thank you. No,
yeah,
no.
that's when I was doing street stuff, and it was just crazy.
Oh my God, no! I couldn't.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh no, I quit. It's okay. I think everybody that knows me now for, you know, at least the last 6 months or whatever knows that I can just walk away from things.
And sometimes you need to do that.
Well, I
and
did
it
need
can
to
be
do that,
hard.
but that's a whole other story. It's not even worth telling.
Well, as far as telling stories for each other, I think that is something I've been working on, something in my head. AITA. Am I the asshole?
Yeah.
And that's something that I think is going to come out pretty soon. It's going to be not really moderated. It's going to be, comments aren't going to be really moderated. It's going to be a free for all, but it's people, because people should be able to say their story.
You feel
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
And I just think it's going to be necessary. I've been thinking about that for 2 years now. And so I think that everybody's voice should be heard. Every single person should have the right to say their story and not have to worry about being ostracized because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
college, you're too dang quiet. You are overran with 4 women. You have to get out there with it.
For real.
I'm just happy that I was able to talk, like not face to face, but because I haven't seen him, but face picture.
Face.
So nice talking to you, and yeah. Well, thank you for listening. Actually, because I talk a lot. Yeah.
Thanks to everybody for coming, really, truly, and because y'all have to put up with a lot listening to me because I go on rambles. But
It's fine.
oh my
We
gosh, look
enjoy
at
talking to you.
Yeah.
I know. I was
hello.
very happy to see her.
Mm-hmm.
It's so awesome seeing everybody, and I love it. Thank you guys. I think I'm gonna round up because I'm with him and I'm getting tired.
Yeah, but I send love and light to everyone, and I'll talk to you later.
You were not being called out, silly. We were just saying how great you were and way more respectful than we are because we just keep, especially me and Misha, we'll just overtalk the crap out of everybody.
It's a good conversation if we're interrupting each other,
You
right?
weren't called out. I was thanking you for like talking to me. I'm very happy to meet you. So I'm sorry if that didn't
Yes.
come that way. I'm genuinely happy to have talked to you a little bit. So yeah. Thank you. I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a good night, honey.
And thank you for coming.
Bye.
Really,
Yeah. Good night,
Sleep well.
everybody.
I love you guys.
Love you,
Love you
honey.
too, babe.
Good night.
Good night.
everybody.
Night.
If I had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. Nothing would be what it is, because everything would be what it isn't. And contrary-wise, what it is, it wouldn't be. And what it wouldn't be, it would. You see? In my world, you wouldn't say, meow. You'd say, yes, Miss Alice. Oh, but you would. You'd be just like people.